Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, everyone. Welcome to another Friday night live stream here at Christ Centered Ironworks. This time from the comfy couch.
Yes, hello. Let me put my mic on. There we go.
There she goes.
Now
She's got the mic on now. Yeah. Well, good evening.
Lovely.
Well, yeah. Good evening.
Good
I guess
evening.
it is evening now, right?
Yes, it is.
Because it's afternoon.
It's past noon.
When does
Past.
evening begin and afternoon
I would
end?
say 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
is
this
what I
evening?
feel like. Yeah, I don't know.
We turn it
Poll.
over to you.
What do
Take
you
a
guys
poll.
think?
When does evening officially begin when you say
Mm-hmm.
good evening versus good afternoon?
Dragonstone says, thanks for having us.
Very welcome. Very welcome.
Leland Hawk says, it's windy and cold out, so here I am.
Yeah. It's windy, cold, and rainy up here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
How cold is cold where you are? 5 p.m.? That's what I thought, Ken Foster. Yep. 5 p.m. is the start of evening.
5 p.m. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I seen when we were first rolling up here, somebody was mentioning the, they said, oh, I wonder about the flooding, must have got warm. It is like just above freezing. And so our ground is currently saturated with snow and ice. And then it's just above freezing. So now we're having rain today. And then, so there's nowhere for the rain to go because it can't soak into the ground because, it's basically an impermeable surface right now. So, so it decided to run into the shop where the anvil is and just a couple inches of water over there. So wasn't exactly conducive forging area and filming equipment and camera wires all over the place.
Yeah, me and Thomas, we actually, so part of the issue was some of the snow that had melted off the roof, and, slid down, dumped right there at the edge of the roof line. And, that's kind of frozen up over time. It got fairly thick and it froze up solid. It kind of created a bit of an ice dam. So that was causing quite a bit of the flooding issues in the shop. So we actually broke out the spud bars and shovels and kind of chiseled a chiseled a levee into it, to let it out down the driveway. And so it has actually slowly, the shop's slowly drying out now. So, which is good, before it got any deeper than what it was. So I said about 3-4 inches of water in there. So, yep. But everything's metal in there.
It'll be fine, but
wooden barns, it'll be fine. It's not going to
annoying.
destroy anything. It's just just irritating, and I wasn't about to go stand in a puddle for you all. Sorry.
Leland Hawk says it's about 30 here, but 20-mile gusts are what's cold.
Whew.
That will make it chilly. Yeah, around here we can get like 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gust, and so
Yep.
yeah,
No.
not
Yeah.
pleasant.
Yeah, we've been staying about 36 degrees, just 36 to 33 degrees, and so it's been a mix of a bit of rain, lots of rain, some snow, then back to rain, and which is very uncommon for this area this time of year. So
Yeah.
definitely got a little bit of a warm up, but not warm enough to actually melt the ground yet. We're not into the thaw yet for up here, so that won't happen until middle to late March when we actually get into the thaw and the ground starts actually thawing out and being permeable again, I guess. You'd say be able to move the water out away from us. So
Yep.
yep.
Like up at like Walmart, they have giant mounds of snow that's been accumulating all winter long, and they're probably like 80 to 100 foot long and a good solid, 20 foot high, 20 foot wide at least. So it's like all the snow that everybody's been pushing away all winter to try to have a parking space, like all that has to melt off, and it's going to take a while.
Hey, Thomas. Seen him not too long ago.
Yep. He
About
said
an hour
he's here.
Ago. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, good to have everybody. So thank you all for joining us this evening. Sorry this will be a boring just sit down and chat stream. We try to make it as lively as possible as we can. But, I'm actually looking forward to getting back on our project that we started last month on the last live stream, which is a ornate little wall hook that I'll be making. And we did that really ornate little finial on the end. And so looking forward, I've kind of got some other things mapped out how I think I want to make the full thing look. So I think it's going to come out looking pretty cool. And so we'll continue on that process. Hopefully next month's live stream, we can get back to business as usual with that. So, and have some more fun with forging.
KR says it's 74 here in Benson, North Carolina. The problem with that is this is only February, so give it 4 months. It's going to be like well over 100. But it's nice there right now, I'm sure.
And Spencer Coates, I see you, brother. Take care. Have fun. And we'll see you later, fellow air breather.
Speargrass says, well, what do you expect from the most hated blacksmith on YouTube?
yeah, that's right. You know, no, least likable, not most hated. I don't know. Maybe that's a new one. Maybe it's changed. I might have been upgraded here recently to most hated. So.
Tomato?
No, I don't know. It's like, I'm having a hard time even qualifying as a blacksmith these days. So I don't know. Just most hated guy around the forging industry. I don't even know what you'd call me now. So
I don't know. Least likable. It's just, it makes you think twice when you hear that. Least likable blacksmith. Like, really? Like, I want to hear the story behind that. Yep.
Who knows? Who knows what it is? So.
Ray Dahl says, nice haircut, Roy.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, come out well. It's a couple weeks old now. 2-3 weeks old.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, you wanted to have it done for some reason.
Yeah.
Some reason. I'm drawing a blank now. I forgot what the reason was.
I did have quite the burly beard going on, and I ended up cropping it down, earlier than I normally would have, just because it started to get to that length where it was grabbing wearing my bibs, my Carhartt bibs, aka not actual Carhartts, but bib overalls. I was wearing my bib overalls, and it was getting the length of it was getting caught in those little loops, that the little snaps that you snap the thing on, and I'd turn and I'd lose like 20 hairs at once, just yanking out beard, and I was like, I gotta do something else. I can't stand this. So I ended up cropping it down too, gotten the beard down a little bit. So, yep. I tried to convince Thomas for us to, at some point this year, to just go beardless. I'd shave my beard, he'd shave his completely, and then, go baby face for a little bit. And he said, absolutely not. Oh.
That would be something. I don't know if you guys would be recognizable.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be recognizable. So I don't even know what my face looks like underneath this. I've had the beard for so long now. Yep, coat zipper. Ray Dahl, I've had it in the coat zipper. It hurts.
Should have braided it. Yeah, that would have kept it out of the way.
Yeah, Pumpkin Patch Forge. So, also, when you read off a comment, you should read off their name and then the comment, because YouTube doesn't put they don't play it back anymore like they used to. They used to do the live chat. So
problem is you have better eyesight than I do. I hardly can make out his name. That's why I wanted the computer closer. I'm like, it's all the way over there.
Well, we can pull the whole thing closer if you want. If that makes it a little easier for you.
Plus the lights in the eyes.
Let's see. We'll pull it. We'll see what happens. We can see half of the screen's now ate up by computer. There we go.
I mean, all we have to do is raise the camera, look up there. Woo.
Yeah, that way it looks like a hostage situation. Hello, please sir, may I have some more?
Yeah, yes, I can see. I can see better. I should hope so. You brought it a foot closer.
Yeah. Yeah, Speargrass. I get your pain, Roy. My wife threatened to leave me if I've ever shave. Yeah. Hey, Niels. Good to see you, brother. Long time no see. On the chat. Things are going well. Things are going well here in northern Michigan. Oh.
Let's see. Oh, Ken Foster says, congrats on your kid's book, by the way. Thomas was actually the first one to ask her to autograph it, so that was fun. So, Thomas, you got the first autographed copy.
Yeah, there you go. And Speargrass Forge has said, you're still a blacksmith. Life gets in the way. Just ask me. This freaking rain. Yeah. Yeah, when things flood out. So, yeah. No, it is interesting on the business side of things. Business is good. It's good. I'm on the service side of the blacksmithing industry now, where I'm serving other smiths and their needs. That's all great. Just sometimes that gets in the way of me doing my forging that I want to do, and I don't know. It's interesting. It's different. It's not bad necessarily. It's just it's a little different. I used to pride myself as a young man quite a bit on the fact that I forged 70 hours a week in the shop, right? And I was like just thumping at the anvil for 70 hours a week. And so now it's a little bit different, kind of coming down off of that and being more of like, okay, I have to think about other things, do other things other than just forging. But now I get to kind of enjoy forging a bit more than just production smithing or doing whatever it takes to just pay the bills, right? And so it's definitely a different thing that don't know where I'm at on that yet. I don't know if I'm that comfortable with it just yet, So there's just a lot of pride you get from a good, hard, honest, sweaty day's worth of work where you're just making things with your hands and then selling those things to customers. So a little bit different now, but like I said, not bad. It's a good different. It's just different. So, yep.
Jeff Killian says, been wearing glasses since the 3rd grade, was nearsighted till I had the cataract surgery. Now I am farsighted. That must really throw you through a loop.
Nope. Yeah. Ken Foster said, I'm getting requests to make hairpins and things like that. Do you have a video on clips and pins? I'm trying to make stuff semi-fancy with the handle of the pin. No, I do not. I've never done any sort of hair
accessories.
Really anything. No, never done any little hair accessories. So closest I've gotten to doing anything, I've done jewelry, made bracelets, and I've made rings. And out of the 15, maybe 20 customers that I've made rings for and I've made bracelets for, at least 9 to 10 of them all had some sort of issue where it didn't fit them right, or they didn't measure their hand right, or maybe the day that they got, they measured, their hand was swollen, and then they weren't happy with it when they got it, and it was too loose or too tight.
Yeah.
And so I very early on I said, I do not make anything that fits the human body. I do not care to make anything. Because, you have women who lie. They're like, oh, yeah, my ring size is a 2. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, what is it on bone? You know what I mean? It's like, no, don't lie. You got fat, chubby little sausages on your hands. It's like, just be honest about it. They're 12s. They're 12s. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like rings are best sold in person where they can actually try it on.
Yeah, where they can try it on or it can be adjusted. But, it's not a great thing to do online, I don't think, custom fitted jewelry, forged jewelry. So I know there's some guys that have done that and done it successfully, but not me. So I've never done hairpins either. So I probably would have if I would have kept up with something that fit people's bodies. I might have, that might have come about. But I think I turned down a hairpin job once.
Maybe.
I think I did, but that was shortly after I got burned on a jewelry job that I was like, nope. I'm done with it. So
I think I had asked you to make some for Etsy because I had researched that there was a lot of people selling them, and you didn't really want to get into that.
Yep.
But you could practically do hairpins with a thick wire. So I know some people do aluminum and stuff, even for hairpins, and copper. Copper's a really nice metal to have hairpins made out of.
Yep. Hey, debauch maker, good to see you. So, keep them light, right?
Yep.
Yeah, keep them light. I don't know. I'm not a woman. I don't have long hair, so haven't ever had the need for hairpins. So.
Yeah, I've seen a few different types. There's like some that are like, it's almost like a hoop, and then you put that over, and then you put a straight pen through, and then the combination of the two items hold your hair in place. But there's a few different styles, so. Pumpkin Patch Forge has made some from copper wire.
Cool.
bright and sunny there. You're in California, right, Dabaka? I think that's where he's at.
Yeah.
Ken Foster says, I think a 1/4 inch is all I have. So 1/8 or 3/32.
Probably 3/32 or 1/8 inch rod, probably.
Yeah,
You're working on a small scale there. When you're working on, if you wanted to make something fancy on small scale, I can speak to this. Think of, you're going to be doing a lot more of like carving, removing material, file work type thing to get fancy with stuff. You can do a little bit of chasing and stuff like that, but light material doesn't lend itself very well to scrutiny under a hammer blow, when you're trying to like push or move things around, Let's say you wanted to put a little face on the end of a hairpin or something. You're going to be better off removing material, leaving a mass of material, and then removing stock away in order to reveal a face than you would be to try to take and forge a face into that tiny of material. It just doesn't hold its heat long enough to forge anything into it, and even when it's cold, it's just too thin and it moves around a bunch, would be too inaccurate. So, yep.
Happy Friday to you, Michael.
Hello, hello.
Dabaka's in Ohio now.
Oh, okay. Hey, Niels, you have a good night, brother. Thanks for checking in. Sorry, it's sleepy time there.
Flyfisher asked, are we still celebrating Christmas? Well,
always.
Right behind
always.
us, I have the nativity scene right there. And then on that side of us, we have a Christmas tree with
our Christmas
gifts
tree's
under
still
it
up.
still.
Yep.
They're open Christmas gifts, but they're still there. Sleepy time in Swedenland. Good night, Niels.
Yep. Robert Lawrence, just make it another ice anvil. Yep. Well, what's interesting, fondly enough, so the Alpena Ice Fest is coming up this weekend, pretty much tomorrow.
Yep.
And that 2 years ago, basically, roughly 2 years ago,
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
we did the ice anvil video, and that's where we ended up connecting with the guys that had made the ice anvil for us to be able to put in our shop and to take and work with. So 2 years ago, pretty much tomorrow, we went up there and got an ice anvil, and it was, you know what? It was kind of warm then too.
It was like unusually
it was kind of a
warm
snotty time. Yeah,
it was like 40s.
Yeah, it was 40s. Yeah,
that weekend.
2 years ago. Yep.
Yep. Peter K. First time live here. I thought I'd pop in and say hi to you both. And so, hi Roy, hi Jessica. In addition, I want to say a big thank you to you for what you do. My very best from Polish Pete in Ireland.
Hey, all right. Well, nice to know you, Polish Pete. I can remember that. So it's P Turk, Peter K.
Yep, 5780.
Right? 5780. Yep. Or Polish Pete. I'll call you Polish Pete.
Polish Pete.
Good to meet you, Polish Pete. Oh, and we like to do what we can for the blacksmithing community. So thank you very much for the acknowledgement. Speargrass, I'm about to head to bed also because
it's my work
week. Oh, sorry, buddy. So, well, I'll bid you adieu, sir.
Adieu.
Have a great evening, sir. Rest well, Speargrass. A lot of people going to bed on the other side of the globe, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. It's like, like what time should we do the live stream? Here in the U.S., like it's in Michigan, we're at 5:30 right now. But if you're on, the western side, right? Yeah, western side, it's still like 3 o'clock or
you haven't even got off
or whatever.
Work yet,
so yeah, it's kind of hard to find a good time that fits everybody. Leland said, I got my first taste of wrought iron. It was an old coal rake. I figured it would be a good piece for a trammel hook. I had no clue what was happening on the first couple hits. Then I saw the grain.
Yep. You're probably thinking, oh man, this is really soft. what is this? Yep. Wrought iron is pretty awesome like that. So. Yeah, if you get bits of wrought iron, it's good to save them around if you can. You know, they're not making more of the stuff. Getting harder and harder to get it for any sort of price, so it's pretty pricey stuff these days. There was a time, there was a guy at Quad State that was selling them in Ohio at a blacksmithing gathering that we have here in the United States. He was selling some bridge iron that I got quite a bit of. So I've got about 400-ish pounds of bridge iron. But the iron from this, this bridge, he had got just scads of it. They tore down an old bridge, and he was able to abscond with the majority of the iron that was in the bridge. And his thing is he would come down to Quad State, and he would sell just enough of it to pretty much pay for his weekend, and go back. So he had stuff for like $1 a pound. So it was anywhere from $1 a pound. When I first bought it from him, it was like 50 cents a pound. And then he raised it to $1 a pound for the wrought iron. And I had bought all that he had several times when I went down there. And, but then I think he passed away, so he didn't bring any more.
The last couple times you haven't seen him, huh?
Yeah, the last several years I haven't seen him. I believe he passed away, so, yep. Subtle Citizen 42 sent 5 Chrysler Ironworks gift memberships. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. So,
Gravity Man, Shane Acosta, a Grand Reaper,
Grando Reaper, Razornella, and Matthew 1979 all got a membership. Well, congratulations. So, yeah, it was a fun time. So, let's see here. What's new? What's new in our world? I want to talk a little bit about 10 years.
Yeah.
So we have officially been doing this crazy show for a decade. So 10 years. It's a long time to be on a platform and to do a thing. So no matter what you do, if you think about it, it used to be pretty standard. People would retire out of something after 20 years, right? At a job or whatever. You definitely had tenure. If you had been in the company for 5 to 10 years, you definitely had tenure. And and so it's kind of crazy to say that we started YouTube a decade ago, and here we are still running it.
Yep.
Still running and gunning it. So it's pretty crazy. So, well, thank you, Subtle Citizen. Really appreciate that. So, so 10 years on YouTube. It's been kind of a wild, crazy, zany ride. And I've tried all sorts of different types of videos in that amount of time. We got a video we're working on that'll be coming out here soon. It's a video that we're kind of going Christ Center Ironworks through the years, basically. It's kind of a bit of the theme on it. So we have some of our very first videos we did. And, not to spoil too much of it, but some of my original videos were done to show tunes, and they were picture slides of different processes with text written across them. So that was quite a bit of fun looking back on those. I was like, oh man, and I went through a whole phase where it was nothing but talking hands. So entire talking hands phase where so many videos was just my hands explaining things. Because I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want this mug to be on camera, because there is a little bit of a knack to staring into that soulless device up there and looking into it and talking like you're talking to a person on the other side. So it takes a little bit to get rid of that foolish feeling, when you're standing there. It's like, oh, I'm an idiot, and the ums and the uhs and it's quite tricky. So I seen Skull and Spade in here.
Yep,
shout
10
out
whole
to him.
years.
Yep, 10 whole years. That's right. Oh.
Yeah, it's we technically joined September 10th of 2015, but we weren't actually posting stuff then. So I looked back to our first posted video, and then we based it off of 10 years off of that. So
Yep. Well, when I first joined, I was just watching YouTube stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to look up any information I could find on blacksmithing when I first joined, you know. I was like, what is this thing?
Yep.
On this here new fangled internet. So, and Michael Gissy Forge, $49.99 super chat for a 10-year milestone. Thank you,
you.
sir. Everybody give him a round of applause as well. So awesome.
Roger Caldwell says, from the time of the goat shed.
Yeah, exactly. From the goat
I don't
shed.
think you didn't actually film any when you were in the goat shed.
No, I didn't film any in there, but
no.
I did show off back then.
Yeah, you did show it
from
off
way
a
back
couple
in
of
the day.
times.
Yep,
Like we had 2
yep.
videos where he gave a tour of it. That building is still standing. It is rickety, but his parents rent the house next door to where we used to live, so we'll go back there and we'll get to see the property still. And it's like, oh, it needs some new windows, and it's got some vines growing through it.
Yeah.
But it's still standing.
Oh. Skull and Spade said, I remember those hands-only, air quotes, videos when I was first getting into smithery. Y'all were crucial to the education. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, yeah. All this taught so many how to be.
Were you the original hand model?
Yeah. I was like,
Thomas's hand model 2.0.
yeah, you know, I watched some of them, you know, and it's like, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece here and you're going to do this thing to it. And you don't want to step it down here. And you want to draw that out, do these little things, you know. And it was like, dang, I was actually pretty good with my hands. I actually still got quite a bit of dexterity in them buggers. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you didn't scorch any of them too bad on video.
Nope, didn't scorch any of them too bad. So, but anyways, yeah, that was fun. It's fun to do those. So, but
Does the building still smell like coal? The old shop. I think
The old shop?
I think it does still have some on the floor.
yeah, well, it's still got some black coal dust stuck somewhere in the crevices there. So it smells a little bit like coal. Really, outside where the old coal pile was actually smells more like coal than the shop does. So because I mean, it had sat there. I would get between 2 to 4 tons of coal at a time and have them piled up there. And we also heated with coal too.
Big old chunks
During the winter,
of
big
coal.
old chunks of coal, so big
Rocks.
chunks of anthracite. So, yeah, you can still smell the coal there, you know, from smithies from before.
Yep. Ken Foster, I remember the video where his neighbor started mowing. That happened in multiple videos, actually.
Yeah,
It was a very thin wall on that barn.
yeah. What y'all don't realize is how many outtakes that I deleted. I should have kept them. Should have kept some of them, but I was like, oh, darn, Bridget, Click. You know, because somebody is interrupting, horn honked, or you know. I was like, can't anybody tell I'm forging in here? I'm filming. You know, somebody come in, hey Roy, and I'd be like, you just ruined the shot. It took me 10 takes to get this one right. You know, and now I can just do it with editing. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not so bad now.
Yeah,
so.
Roy doesn't keep the outtakes either. He like deletes it on the spot, so there's no recovering footage.
Ray Doll, the hands only would be a bonus if I were starring in it. Face made for radio here. Oh, it can't be that bad. It's not as bad as this mug. Certainly not.
Tabaka, LOL. Everyone has coal dust in some crevice or another. LOL.
Yeah, exactly.
It settles everywhere. You can't get away from it.
Well, yeah. So on that note, we want to go over some of
certainly.
some of the stats just for fun. So these are just for fun.
We do this every so often.
Yeah,
like,
we do.
share
It's been
some
a long
stats.
time since we've done one of these. What this been? Probably?
Well, we did some when we hit 100,000 subscribers, which.
And that was 2 years ago?
two-ish
Yeah,
years
2
ago.
years ago I think it was that we hit
Yep.
that. So yeah, we gotta bring these up. So
So let's start
Wrong one.
with. I know I gotta turn them on. Boop.
there we go.
Okay, we'll start with that one.
Okay.
That's what you're looking at.
All
there.
right. So one of the so just a couple things to look out here. The screen grab Jessica pulled up. So looks like we joined September 10th, 2015 is when we joined. At 600, we are at 641,000 subscribers, 2,208 videos that it counts as, And I believe that's less shorts, ain't it? Because I think that's
I
actual videos.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
They might
So,
count everything. I'm not completely sure.
yeah. I'm pretty sure I had over 2,000 regular videos online before we started doing a lot of shorts.
Yeah, beats me.
But anyways, and then that antiquates out to pretty much all of that comes out to 333,395,314 views, lifetime views. So that is insane.
That is insane.
That is a lot of views on stuff, you know?
For sure.
So that's pretty cool. And then some of our most viewed content, you know, click over to that, read some of that out. So at the top of the list was Forging Mokamagane from Quarters. That was a highly controversial video that I never thought would have. But,
Yeah.
it went mega viral for us. And we got 305,187,027 views so far on it since it was published.
It's 96.8% of
Yep.
the views.
Yep, 96.8%
Just
of
off
our
that video.
views, so which is funny. Wish it actually made us a lot of money. It did not. Oh, look, here we go. People are like, oh, that's why you're a rich YouTuber. LOL. So, next to that was making a ring from 100-year-old wrought iron. That was 2,744,332 views. These are all mostly shorts, it looks like. So our average video views don't actually get that many. We
No.
usually get 1,500 views on a regular video.
I think hardening and tempering a chisel is one of our more highly viewed regular length videos.
Which would have been fun to actually see those
Yeah.
up here versus just short. So
Yeah.
then brazing copper with 1 million. Then anvil weights for 683,000. Then maple leaf hooks under the treadle hammer for 645,000, and quarters into Mokamagane. Again, we tried to capitalize on the initial success of that, and we didn't do as well. Again, only 627,000 views. So,
Yeah.
moving right along. Next little channel stat that we have. So it shows you our real-time subscribers, or was. That makes the rest of our channel look dead. Completely dead. So there you go.
There you have it.
Oh, yeah. So in the last 48 hours, there's a little side screen that was showed there. Last 40 views in just the last 48 hours was 15,391. So there you go. So there's some crazy numbers, some crazy statistics for 10 years going on there. So are we back to the regular one?
Yeah, it's just checking on the health. It did say there for a
good.
second. It said OBS had gave a warning flag for a second. There we go. Must have been an AI learning, says Tim Foster.
Yep. Yeah. Wow, you have more than 250 trillion views. Yeah, crazy, right? I mean, that's pretty insane. So I wish that worked out to dollars and cents. So, but it has not. It has not. So interesting thing about that is of all of that, we've made about $100K in total lifetime on 10 years. 10 years on YouTube, we've made about $100,000 off of just AdSense that's on YouTube, and the metrics on that, which is we've spent all back into YouTube. So it's kind of like a zero profit sum when you actually work it all out. But the real benefit that we've had and we've gained is the community that we have from all of you around here, and the ability to take and be the nougaty center, right? The giving hub, you know, and it's real nice to do that. You guys have given to us, and then we turn around and we replay those blessings out there, and you know, put it out there. And then, you know, a lot of you have chosen to support us in doing the CNC blanks on that side of things and buy your blanks from us. And that's really where, you know, we've received a lot of benefit personally to our families to be able to grow us and keep a roof over our heads and lights on and stuff like that. So it has been one heck of a ride to get here. I know we spent a good bit of money just putting money into YouTube constant for
The gear,
at least
the
6 years, right?
cameras,
At
yeah,
least
the
6, 7
laptop,
years,
and editing
just pouring
software.
straight money into it without actually. It was a deficit, pretty much a deficit for the first 6, 7 years. So, but yeah. So who knows? Maybe I'll hit that big break yet. Maybe I'll hit that big break, and I'll make $40 million a week or something like that. One day.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Doubt it.
Not gonna hope I'm not gonna count my hens before they're hatched, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna count my hens before they're hatched. So as I like to tell folks all the time when they talk about retiring and this and that, it's like, no, I'm gonna die with my boots on, and probably a hammer in my hand. So of some kind.
Norm Hunt Fish Forge says, hello, Jessica and Roy from Jackson County. Old guy learning something new.
Hello.
I brought some blanks and a spatula kit from your store. You added not 1, but 3 free gifts with that order. Had to say thanks.
Hey, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So that's something we do with all of our orders. We try to either give something complimentary a lot of times, or something like, hey, maybe they've never got one of these. Maybe they could do something interesting with it. It's always fun to receive some free things, and I don't think other companies, which you can't really speak on them a whole lot, I don't think other companies do that enough, really. It's kind of it's a missed opportunity to take care of your customer and to help them to have more fun in whatever it is that they're doing, just by giving a little extra. And it doesn't really hurt your business that much to do so. It doesn't hurt to be kind and giving. So it's something fun. So me and Thomas, we have that. Thomas has been known to call customers too and say, hey, I sent you something last time, like repeat customers that get with us all the time, that have repeat purchases with us. Be like, tell me something you want, maybe something else maybe you're looking at, because we're running out of ideas of what to send you as a freebie. But we do like doing that. And, it's not really any gimmick there. It's just something I started right off from the very get-go, and we decided to do that. Just keep that as a common practice. So you never know what you're going to get. So it's kind of like, if I could distill it down, if first time joining us, I'm a Christmas nut. I love Christmas. I'm like a young Kris Kringle, just not gonna lie. And so I love giving gifts. And it's kind of my bag, So it's kind of like I get to give a gift in every little package that I send out there. So yeah, it works with that ethos.
It does, yeah. Get those a Gussie set. I'll say that opening any order from you all is like Christmas.
Yeah.
That's fun. Ooh, I want a sip.
You want a sip? Okay. Dana Maggiore, we're jumping around in the comments, so if you guys don't get your question answered, you could just re-ask, and we've got time. We're here to answer questions and to talk to you all. So, but I'm kind of skipping around to the ones I'm just cherry picking right now. The ones I see. Said Dana Maggiore said, Roy, 10 years ago, did you think you would be where you are now? That is a very easy answer. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I started this whole thing, I learned from another smith that was currently doing YouTube at that time, that they were pulling in like $400 a month, and they hadn't posted in like a year or whatever. They just posted some videos, and they were bringing in $400 a month. And at that time, when I learned that tidbit of information, I was only making $1,200 a month tops. That was gross income out of the blacksmithing to feed a family of 5 on. And so I was like, well, shoot, this $400, I mean, all I got to do is do what now? Is that legal? Can I do it legally? I don't have to take my shirt off, right? Well, I might even do it if I did have to take my shirt off, but how much for $400? So anyway, so it was like, it's like, well, heck, I'll give that a shot. And I tried it, and I failed royally at it. Like, I had a buddy of mine, we went halvesies in on this big, fancy, super complicated camera, it looked complicated at the time to me. I knew nothing about camera work or anything. And he came over and filmed me. And, dude, I got so tongue-tied and camera shy. I was like, I'm like, this is stupid. How does anybody do this? I'm not going to do this YouTube thing. This is nonsense. And so my compromise to that was to film with our old Nikon camera at that time. I would take that out and I would film. I would get pictures, slideshows of a process, and then I played music over it. Yeah, it was the Nikon. Yeah.
Was it the Nikon or was it? Because I did have a
digital. You took
photographs.
You took photographs for me. Yeah. You took photographs. I'm like, here, take a picture of this, and then we'll take a picture of this, and that way I didn't have to speak to the camera, and I didn't have to try to be this. Bella Ball.
People hated the music.
So we ended up making like 10 videos.
10 that are all slideshows.
10 videos of that first batch.
And then we walked away from it.
And then we walked away from it for a year. We did not touch it. We didn't do anything with it. Didn't mess with the whole deal. And and then, so, sorry, just saw a joke by the Alexis Project, so. Anyways, so, yeah, so we left it for a year and then come back. I'm like, oh, I wonder how that YouTube thing's going. I forget what brought my attention back to it. I think I may have talked to somebody else who was kind of toying with the idea about YouTube. Anyways. Came back to look at the channel. I'm like, holy smokes! There's like 1,000 people have subscribed to me. I'm like, who are all these people?
I think we had like 50,000 views across everything too, and so I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah, it's like,
maybe
what is this
whole
whole thing?
More.
And then that started me into the live streaming bit as well, where I'd stream and I got on that shortly after I posted some more silent flicks, so at that time, when I projected forward, I was kind of thinking it would be really cool if I could add $500-600 a month extra to my income. That's it. That was my only thought on it. I didn't think about the community aspect. I didn't think about that there was a community. I didn't think about that people did this sort of thing or actually watched YouTube. And I'm like, well, certainly no one's going to learn anything from a video online. I'm like, it's like...
For years. He had never touched a computer for years.
Yep. I never touched a computer. I mean, heck, I had a flip phone right up until I started doing YouTube videos. Yeah, pretty much. And then I'm like, well, I guess I better get a phone because I think I can do it better with a phone, because it didn't seem as daunting as a camera. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I had to get a phone. So we started filming some cell phone videos. And then I realized, like, all of my steel was purple. Because I didn't realize how light and refraction and all that sort of stuff works. And, I didn't understand a whole lot about filming. So anyways, so that kind of started all that. So like I said, it all started from a very simple thing, maybe less noble than what it is now, which was, I was just hoping to make an extra $400 a month, man. That was it. Add it to my income. It sounded cool. If it was legal to do so, and I wasn't going to get locked up for some sort of money laundering or something,
He felt the same thing when I started an eBay store and started selling stuff. He's like, you made how much? How did you do that?
Yeah.
Are you sure
exactly.
you can do that?
Yeah. I was like, is that legal? And she's like, oh yeah, I got this book and it's like 10 ways to make money on eBay. I'm like, sounds like a scam, I was a little resistant at first, but then she made more money in 1 week than I did while I was like broiling in an attic all week long. I used to do heating and air work, and I had been sweating like crazy in an attic all week. And I looked at what I made for pay and what she made just selling off garage sale items. I'm like, well, shoot.
I can go to some garage sales too.
Yeah, we can go to some garage sales, So I'm like, scam or not, let's do it, baby. Versus me being stuck in this attic, all in. And then blacksmithing kind of started taking off, and I really felt the calling on that. I said, you know what? I'd rather just do this versus going around and flipping stuff at garage sales on eBay.
Well, that really did the best during the summer. It was hard to get stuff during the winter to flip.
Yep. Yep.
Dana says, I'm really glad you kept going. You have changed Evelyn and my life for the better.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Dana. So, yeah, I'm glad we kept going too, as well. Really, honestly, for the guy that was hoping to add an extra 400 to 600 to his income, have ended up spending all of that 400 to 600 right back into the platform. It didn't make it wasn't a very good business choice. It didn't do the desired effect. But what did happen from that is an amazing community of support around us and an amazing support the people we have met and have interacted with. And that's really what it's all about. Like, that's what it's about for me now. So 110%. If God were to, it's like, whatever, if, God comes in and just bloop, removes YouTube tomorrow, or YouTube,
or if you lost monetization altogether, maybe
kicked me off the platform or lost monetization altogether, my biggest hurt would be the loss of community on YouTube, the loss of talking to other smiths and reaching out across the divide out there with technology, right? Like I really enjoy, I've embraced that aspect, the teaching portion, and so that would be the only sorrow part for me. As far as the monetary side of things, womp womp. I mean, it would not be that, wouldn't be that big of a deal. So if they took away monetization tomorrow on my channel, I don't care. I would still keep going. I'd still be here in another 20 years, good Lord willing. So, and it's because of the community, and I've met many of the people who are in the actual chat tonight. I've met many of these people in person, and call them all friends and family of the Forge. So, yeah, so it's been really good. Good thing to answer. Fly Fisher Q60, will there be an anvil giveaway today? Great question. Glad you brought it up, because I just about totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
So we won't be having a giveaway in this stream. Well, because the anvil that I wanted to give away isn't here yet. So it isn't here yet, and I didn't want to just put up a screen grab. I want to actually have the physical item so I can show off its features and things like that. It will be here in the 1st of March, so then I can give it away in March. Yep. I'll give it away in March's live stream. Unfortunately, it just didn't get in time for the stream, and so that's a bummer. Yep. But anyways, yes, there's still going to be a giveaway. Yep. It'll be in March's live stream. Hopefully, when we get back to doing our regular scheduled programming, in March, we will be able to do a forging stream, and then in that I can show off all of its features and stuff. And give that one away. So,
and so along with our 10 years on YouTube, we're actually going to be giving away 10 anvils this year. So next month will be the first of the 10, and then we'll continue that every month with the crescendo at Christmas, of course.
Yeah. Spending more of that YouTube millions on the YouTube community. So.
Yeah, we can't give away an anvil without Olga and our favorite hammer calling the winner.
Yeah,
Josh Montgomery.
Exactly. It doesn't feel right in the living room.
No,
I don't know. It just feels kind of like impersonal, I guess. We have a thing. We have a thing, and it works for the giveaways. The drum roll on the anvil, that's our thing, and it works really well, I think. It calls out the attention. People are like, oh, I'm going to win an anvil, or oh, Drat, I just missed winning an anvil, or, it works out really well. So, plus I have a lot of other items as well. Yeah, oh, wow, more crazy giveaway chats. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. That'll happen, too, for sure. That'll happen, too. I also have some other things to give away. I've got some Shop Shepherd oil and some Zax wax from ZH Fabrications. I've been meaning to give that away for a while now and just haven't got around to it. Honestly, forgot. I was going to give it away during Christmas, and I totally forgot. And when I got it in for a different giveaway that I was going to do. And I just totally forgot. And I was like, oh, man, I'm horrible. Because it was sitting on a shelf, not, kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
And yeah. So
Well,
anyways.
I think it arrived a bit after the Christmas live stream, so yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kinda
So, and then
sitting.
ever since I've been trying to give the thing away, but I
Yeah.
keep forgetting about it. So because it's
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind, which isn't wonderful. So I'm gonna have to take and work on doing that.
Robert Lannis, now I know that $3 a month is paying for your Ferrari.
Oh yeah, vroom vroom.
Our
It's a paper Ferrari. It's a paper Ferrari.
Called an
It's a printout on the computer.
06 model pickup truck with rust. Do you prefer older anvils versus the new ones? Asked Jeffrey Jones.
Good question. I love history, so I love anvils that have a history or pedigree. I don't love old anvils just for the fact of them being old and beat up. I don't like that. My shop's a working shop, so when I go to do work at my anvil, I need to support the activities in which I'm doing. And so if it doesn't do that, whether it's old or new, it's worthless to me. It can go to somebody else's shop. It doesn't need to be in mine. So every tool in my shop is fit for purpose, and it is all fit for a specific purpose of what I've designed it for, or what I've envisioned for it to do. So I like old anvils because if there's a pedigree that comes with the anvil as far as like where it came from, or if it has an interesting history to it, I love old anvils from that regard. As far as are older anvils better than, say, newer anvils, which is another way you could interpret that question, the answer is no. The answer really isn't. Technology and understanding of metal and how, like the chemistry behind what makes steels do stuff is... New anvils are every bit as good, if not better, than a lot of the older anvils out there. A lot of the older anvils out there, they have their quirks. They have little quirks. They're, the hardy hole might not be completely square through it. It might have some weird wedge or rhombus or taper that you have to work with. It might have a dead spot in the plate of the anvil, that you have to work around. It might be soft in areas and harder in others, and newer anvils tend to have a lot more consistency overall than what old anvils do. So, so if you can, and it's kind of like apples and oranges, right? So an old weathered apple or a new apple, well, a new apple's going to be better, right? But if you're comparing a new apple to an old orange, that's not, those aren't in the same comparison group. So, but yeah, so I think it just depends. I prefer like Olga. Olga has been through 2 world wars and then made it over on the boat to the United States, had been immigrated here. So, so it was in, according to the old owner, and, again, the history is a little hard to track down, but said it was in a factory that had been shelled multiple times and survived all that. And so for me, I find that cool as hell, and that's why, what I mean? It's just part of the mystique to that anvil and just a little bit of that magic of the forge that I like. And so yeah, I love my old Olga on that. I would have to have a really massively big anvil that's brand new, that has a lot of features designed into it for me to trade Olga or move Olga off to the side. I would never get rid of Olga. But in order for me to move Olga off to the side and it become a secondary anvil, I would have to have an insanely huge anvil to replace it with. So something totally custom that it has its own story. I'm the beginning of its history, that kind of thing.
I guess he says, what country is Olga from?
Oh, that is from Germany. So, yep, it's from Germany. And it is a North German Heddinghaus anvil.
Tabaka, LOL, Roy, don't tell the ice anvil that she's an immigrant, LOL.
Yeah. Yeah, Dragon Stone Ironworks said, new or old is subjective. Yep, it can be very subjective.
Pumpkin Patch Forge says, before I go, my anvil is an 1850s mouse hole. I absolutely love it. Okay, take care and good night now.
All right, take care, Pumpkin Fat Forge. Thanks for being here.
Dabaka says that 1,000-pounder from Quad State. He did tell me about that. He's like, I think I could do it.
Yeah, that one could be done. So, yep.
Kim Foster says, every winter I try to take on a project that I am not good at in blacksmithing. Last year I tried to make 1,000 horseshoe nail hooks. I only got about 600 before the results didn't change.
Oh, yeah. Well, 1,000 horseshoe nail hooks. You got better than you think. You got better than you think. So.
This year I set a goal of 30 knives. I'm horrible at bevels, but I am up to 25 knives. It's pretty good considering.
Ken, the only way you get better, buddy, is just by doing.
Early.
So, yep.
He also asked if there was any news on the 4140 dies for guillotine tools.
No update yet because I haven't been back to the. I have not been back to the steel yard yet to take a go buy anything. So I do not have an update currently for those.
Jeffrey,
and I don't want to lie to you, so I'm not going to tell you anything about them
updates.
until I have something to say on them. So, but
Jeffrey Jones says, like anything else, if you take care of it, it should last a lifetime.
Yep, exactly. No. Yeah, I need to buy in with my next load of steel. I could update on the 4140 dice. I need to buy a singular bar in, a test bar of it with my next load of steel that I get in for the plasma side of the business. So I usually go about once every 2 months to get steel. I loaded up about 3 months worth of steel right before Christmas. I had really overbought on materials to just make sure I didn't have to stop production in order to go get more materials during the Christmas rush and the holiday season. And we're about all on that now. So definitely, my guess is definitely by the first of the month in March, I should be going and getting another load of steel. I thought I would have probably already been already, but there's a lot of other stuff that's come up that, I haven't had the need for it. The orders are down a little bit right now, so they slowed down, so I didn't have to, we haven't ate through as much as we would, but I'm about to go on and get another big load. So if I put on a load, if I put something weird or something specialty on a big load of steel and copper for the CNC side of the shop, then I get it at a bit of a discount. So, so I'm kind of waiting for that to, waiting to put it all on one load like that. So I'm hoping to do that with my next steel load, so which I am getting kind of in the need of it now. So we're down to I don't know, 5-6 bed runs on the plasma table left of a few different type of items. So we're at that critical mass. So if it's not by the end of this month, it'll definitely be by the first week of next month. And hopefully I will know more. And I'm more than happy to put that on my website. I'm more than happy to put them on my website because people have been asking for them. And I hope it'll work out this time. I made a mistake last time. I bought 10 bars. I bought 10 bars of what I thought would work, and it ran really thick. And, and I thought it was going to be the right size, but it was out of tolerance and for anything that I could use it for. So I had bought 10 bars and ended up having to actually, which I never do, I ended up returning it. And I paid the restocking fee because I'm like, this is absolutely useless to me. I don't need to have
it's too fluctuate.
Yeah, I don't need to have $2,500 out in steel I can't use.
No.
So I was like, I can't afford that. So
they're like, oh, you should talk to us more about the tolerances. It's like, okay. Ken Foster says, I don't see tong blanks on the website. Any plans?
Well, no. I don't have any plans for tong blanks. It's a bit of a, I don't know. There's other people who do tong blanks. So Ken's Custom Iron is he has been very well known. He's passed now, and it's his family that runs his business and his in his stead. And he made some of the original. Now he's probably not the original creator of a tong blank, right? One that's been cut out of plate, but that's a real big portion of their business, is making tong blanks and quick tongs for people. And so just out of honor for that, I don't compete in that market. And I don't do like some of my other competitors out there, where they'll take and have no problem with knocking off designs we have and reposting them for whatever price they want to. I don't do that. So just out of pure honor for that. So I like to just let them do their tong blanks, and then I do other stuff. Now in the shop, or if I'm making some to give away, I'm cutting them out myself, because, well, why do I pay? Why would I pay for someone else, for someone else's blanks, when I could make them myself and end up, making them up for people and selling them, or giving them away. So I don't like the. I like to give credit where credit due. Let people run their own kind of little shows in their own little business. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's kind of hard to express that, really. So where does the line get drawn, right? Like, for instance, a hummingbird. There's only so many ways that the outline of a hummingbird can be made for a blank, and there's only so many ways that you could use a hummingbird. So a garden stake, a hook, an ornament, a three-dimensional object like a little sculptural piece. So that itself is not really trademarkable. It's not really patentable. It's not really like, hey, that's my idea. I figured out how to do hummingbirds. Like, God figured it out first there, bucko. So, all that's like free and fair game. When you come up with an original concept, and yes, there are original ideas out there that you can come up with where you apply maybe an old thought, but in a new way, using a new technique. I think we should give honor where honor's due and just let those people have that. Let them have that and not knock it off. In the CNC plasma world, I like to say all the time, there's no honor among thieves. I mean, it just kind of seems like everyone's willing to take anyone's stuff and just reproduce it at a drop of a hat. I am unwilling to do that. So I will produce something close. I will not copy an exact. I will not take a picture of someone's website page and then trace over it exactly and then list that same item on my website. I find that to be below the belt, I guess. I find that to be a low honor endeavor, and God calls me to a higher calling than that. And I might lose some sales because of that, but hey, so be it. There's got to be at least one honest thief amongst the thieves, right? So who knows? So split cross makes a hummingbird. Night, Dana, by the way, if I missed you. Joseph Johnson said, yes, blanks are too expensive. Not sure what you mean by too expensive. Oh, talking about your tongs or rebar, I guess. I got you. Okay, cool. Anyways. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, to the process. So, but yeah, I mean, Dragonstone said, respectable position, Roy. It's too much like stealing. Yeah. Again, to a degree, right? So if you see somebody else and they have a blank that looks like one of the blanks that we offer on our website, I mean, it's kind of free game, really. The only ones I would be real upset about are like my lever action, my single bay and dual bay guillotine tools. That hasn't been done. You can go Google search it. I'm the only thing that pops up because I'm the only person that's done that or has posted about it or otherwise. Now, has somebody across the course of time ever done one of those? I'm sure someone has. Like, I mean, I'm not that big of a genius, right? So I'm pretty sure that someone else has done at some point in time. I posted just kind of to say world's first. It's just good marketing, I don't know if it was ever the world's first, but I mean, there it is. The way I've applied myself at it, the way I designed it, the way it's put together is probably the first time that it's been done in that kind of orientation. And so I would be pretty upset with somebody if they tried to knock that off. And then my treadle hammer. That's never been done. It's never been done. Never ever. Not in the whole time of blacksmithing. Because it wasn't capable. People weren't capable of producing it like that. That hasn't been done. Now, have they produced swing arm treadle hammers that are on a spring and a rope and a stick? Yeah, they have. Treadle hammers are a treadle hammer. That's nothing new. But my application of that treadle hammer is definitely unique and different. And I would be quite sore with somebody if they tried to take and replicate that. But, pretty much everything else is kind of like free game. I mean, there's only so many ways you can make an apple, right? Or an apple hook, or a submarine, or whatever. You put X, fill in line there, fill in line blank. So I don't get too upset about that. I just don't. I myself don't like to inadvertently try to say something somebody else kind of innovated on and say, oh, I'm going to take that because I can do it quicker and easier and faster than they can. I'm taking food out of their mouths, and I don't want to do that. So. Paul Fontenay Artist. Hello, Paul. Good to have you a part of the stream, sir. Let's see here. Jeffrey Jones, 6409. Do you prefer using blanks to make tongs, or do you prefer making them from stock? I feel a better sense of accomplishment when I make them from scratch. Making them from scratch is awesome to do. I've made them from scratch. I am not a tool. How do I say? I'm not a tool nut. I'm not a tool maker. So all of my tooling, and I've been consistent in this as I've explained this over the many years on YouTube here, this last decade on YouTube. All of my tools in my shop fit a purpose that I'm doing. So I wouldn't say any of my tools are something to write home about as far as like they're pretty. I wouldn't say any of my tongs are like, oh my God, this is the best, sweetest looking pair of tongs ever, or I felt like immense satisfaction making particular tools. There's only a couple tools in my arsenal that I feel a connection like that with. The majority of them, they're just something to get another piece of ironwork done for me. So if it's easier, so I guess for me, the simple answer is, if it's easier to make them out of a blank, I'm going to make them out of blank. Like, if it's just easier and it gets me done with the process that I'm trying to undertake quicker, I'm just going to do them that way. If it's going to take longer to set up the machine, cut a blank, then forge the tongs out, and then make it that way, and I have some bar stock laying right there, I can whip up a new pair of tongs that are custom fit in roughly 30 minutes. I'm not running no races, but in 30 minutes, it's worth 30 minutes of my time to just whop them out real quick. Then I'll do that. But they might not be the prettiest looking pair of tongs in the world. And again, I don't care. My goals in smithing have always been around the finished result of the ironwork for the customer, or the finished result of, whatever I was trying to make, an anniversary gift, a birthday gift, whatever. So that's always been my aim, and tools are just to suit, right? They're just to fit that aim. Now that I've had a bunch of tools, I've given away slews of tools, I've sold off bunches of tools, and I've kind of replenished the shop through a couple times of tools. Maybe it's just getting older. I'd like to have some nice tools. I like to have some nicer, little more well-crafted. But again, I'm not production smithing anymore, so I'm not actually just pumping out thousands of items a year. And so therefore, I can have a little nicer tong. I could take a little longer and make a nicer pair of tongs. So I know that's a long-winded answer for a pretty short question, but I'm a king of that. That's what you get on this channel.
That's right.
Long-winded. long-winded answers for short-winded questions. So, but yeah, if you can if you're a beginner and you're just getting started out, any type of tong is better than no type of tong. So, I wouldn't get too particular. You know, if you want to practice and it makes you feel good to make tongs, make them yourself from scratch from some random bar of something. Awesome. Do it. That's what it means to be a blacksmith, man. It's just so much fun. It's fun to manipulate and make steel do the things you want it to do, and you know, make a tool that's useful for you. And who knows, you might have that tool for 50 years. You know, you're like, yeah, I remember that one way back in the day when I made this thing. It served me well. And you might even pass it down to your grandkids someday. And that's cool, too.
Crawford says, is there enough memory on your cutter to store your programs on a recallable memory to just kind of point, click, and cut?
So the way it works on the CNC Plasma, we have everything stored to a hard drive locally on the computer, and we also have them backed up externally to an external hard drive. So the files themselves are just are like a DXF file, and then they go through a program that we use. It's called ProNest, and when we throw it into ProNest, it adds all of the G code to it. And what that is it's a nesting algorithm in software that you can play with and tweak with, but you set all your cutting parameters, what type of materials you're working with, you know, what type of speeds you're working with, that type of stuff, what type of amperage you're running on your plasma cutter. You set all that up, and then you pick how many parts you want of whatever it is. Say if I want, you know, 50 little butterflies and, you know, 10 horseshoe hooks or something like that, right? You put those in the queue, the list, and then through an algorithm, it tries to figure out how to best place them on the plate. So it nests out the plate for you. It's a really smart, dumb system. So there's a lot of finicking you have to do afterwards, because kind of like, ugh, it gets on there. It gets them on the plate, but sometimes you're like, you know, I could fit 10 more of that on there if I just rearrange this a little bit.
Your
so
human brain is more complex for seeing the spaces and the options.
Yeah, so it gets close. It gets it close. And so then after that, when we output it, it applies actual G code to it. So it actually puts numerical code to it that, you know, gives all the little waypoints where the cutter's going to cut, all the little points of interest. And then all that gets fed into the machine then after that. So, and then the machine is just reading that program that got put out by the pre-processor, not post-processor, but pre-processor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so all that, it just reads that program that's been output from there on out. So, yeah, so that's kind of in a nutshell how it works. It's a really top overview, top-down thing. Jessica draws up files all the time, and she'll do tweaks and adjustments and whatever needs to be done, and customers work. If they want it a little bigger or they want an antler longer or something like that, she can do that, and she does some adjustments to it. And then, and then we go through all that process that was pre-described there. Mm-hmm. Then finally you got a cut product. So it really pays, so you save all that, right? So once you've got one that works, you've got a DXF file that works, you save that DXF file. And then you don't have to keep readjusting it every time you put it on the plate. So, yep.
He says, I see. At least you don't have to code for each one. Well, y'all already know I'm the techno-challenged Cro-Magnon man-child. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Fly Fisher says, if you could only have one power tool, what would it be?
Boy. That's a good one. Trying to think of the most versatile one I can. Angle grinder. Yep, angle grinder. I was gonna say like a drill press, like a drill, but you can punch holes in steel. I've done my fair share of filing, and angle grinder is a lot easier and a lot quicker. So I would say an angle grinder. Oh. Angle grinder, you can cut bar stock off with. You can grind, you can shape, you can do a lot of different things with an angle grinder. You can polish. So if I only had one power tool that I could run off of, it'd be an angle grinder. Yep. Yep, same.
Favorite thing to make?
Jeffrey Jones, 6409. What is your favorite thing to make?
Anything French Baroque. I
Yep.
can answer that for him.
Pretty much. Real easy. French Baroque ironwork. So, but pretty simple, huh? Yeah. I'll grab my door knocker.
Sure.
I'll show you. In case you're new here and you don't know what French Baroque ironwork is, I will show you an example of it. And it is my favorite style to make. I don't have favorite things anymore. I have a favorite genre of things to make. So there you go. Yep. This one I made what, a year back?
Yeah, roughly-ish.
Yeah. So that's an example of French Baroque ironwork. So that's a door knocker. Works out pretty good.
Lots of scrolly scrolls.
That's my favorite thing to make. So I guess you could say my favorite thing to make is lots of scrolls. There you go.
Lots of scrolls.
Scrolls. Something whimsical. And my God, that looks good on camera.
It does. It looks very good on camera.
It's very good.
Indeed.
That really needs to adorn a door somewhere. So this particular one, I've shown this off many times before. I'm proud of it, you know. It's got a sterling silver leafed collar with 24 karat gold leaf, you know, scrolls. Yep. So like I said, you could say scrolls are my favorite thing to make, I guess. That's my favorite thing to make. One of the things going on with a decade on YouTube, as most people, if you've been around a long time, that we've been on YouTube for 10 years, most of you that have been around since the beginning can attest to, I have covered in those 2,200 and I don't know how many videos, in those 2,200 videos that we've produced online, I have covered so many different topics, and some topics at least twice on blacksmithing. And some of those were just purely out of doing it for YouTube. Some of those have been following along on projects for customers that I was making. Some of them were rehashes of projects I had made in the past for customers that I ended up just putting on my website and online. But over my time and my tenure doing forging work, which has been longer than 10 years, I'm coming up on...
Since 08.
What am I now? From 08 to now. Oops. Uh-oh. Camera died.
Camera.
Do I put the battery in her? Or do you want me to do it?
So 18 years.
18 years?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is that this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be my 18th year doing ironwork. So... Oh, you all still hear us. Good, good. So, debak motor, debak maker. It's beautiful, but it's no toilet spoon. We're good. We're good.
What's in
Well,
focus?
that's it. It's looking here. Oh, maybe we were. People can see us. Get the focus. We good? Good. Bang on. There we go. So, where was it going with that? I was about to say something.
Toilet spoons.
Yeah, I don't know. You threw me off with the toilet spoons and the camera dying. I lost my train of thought. So,
yeah, you're talking about how long you've been blacksmithing.
Yeah. So, in 18 years, you said?
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Is that right?
Yeah, you started in 08. So, and then in 2028, which is in 2 years, then that'll be 20 years. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep, that's right. So, so 18 years this year. There you go. So, in 18 years of forging, I have literally forged just about everything under the sun. I have forged everything from paring knives to hatchets to saw blades to door knockers to fancy scroll work to fireplace stuff, reenactment things, you name it. I've pretty much forged it. Candlesticks and sconces and, various things to all sorts of degrees. And so, so with such a repertoire with that, and please don't take it as me trying to brag. I'm just trying to set the stage for what I'm about to say is that's where I don't have a favorite thing that I make, right? Like I have such a library and a catalog of stuff I've made over the years that I just have a genre of things I generally like to produce now. So, yep. I've even made hammers as well. So I've made hammers, decorative, non-decorative. I make all the shop tooling in the shop for anytime we have any sort of jobs or tooling necessary. I've made so many things that they kind of bleed together a little bit at this point. That's it. Some good, some bad, some stellar, some not. There are sometimes I look back at an old camera book, at an old portfolio book, and I'm like, I made that? It just almost blows my mind that I even did that and when it was. I was like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, that has been a minute, so... but yeah, so no favorite things, no particular favorite thing, just favorite genres now.
Good evening, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, good to have you.
Ken says, any thoughts on asymmetrical forge welding? Example, wrapped axe, but the sides are not equal in length. The tool steel takes up the missing space on one side and just out past the cutting edge.
So almost like an adze, in a way. Any thoughts? I guess I could have thoughts if I had more context, I guess. Good question. Go for it.
Give it a try. Share your results.
Share your results. Send pics.
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. So, yeah. Any thoughts on asymmetrical forge welding? Example,
how you would carry it out, I guess.
But the sides are not equal in length. The tool steel takes up the missing space on one side and is just out past the cutting edge. So I'm taking it you are trying to make an axe of some sort and you're trying to ask whether that's possible. Because it is possible. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. The only thing would be to blend it well enough that you do not have a stress riser at the back of your tool steel bit. So you're going to have to shape your scarf in such a way that it scarfs into the back of the tool steel bit. And then having stuff off to one side is perfectly fine. So
Tabaka says it's basically where the eye is the only thing that you wrap around. And forge weld, it's not like two halves of the blade that you then forge weld together after wrapping it up. And he says, I see some sites saying it is a stronger connection by doing it that way. And Chuck says Black Bear Forge did something like that a few years ago.
I would say, so I would challenge stronger connection, I guess. That's what I would challenge on that. So this is where I would challenge stronger connection as a general rule. So when you're thinking about the tool and what you're making, again, I don't know what you're chopping, don't know what you're doing, okay? I'm not an axe maker, so let me go ahead and put that out there. I'm not an axe maker, but from making tools and doing tools where you forge weld things and forge weld tool steel bits into them, it all comes down to context of what you're using it for. So if you are putting a shear plane into anything or a stress riser anywhere that will receive impact or lateral load stressing on it, you're going to have problems. You're going to have failures. No matter how you weld it up, no matter what funky pixie magic you throw on it, you're going to have problems with it. Just from physics, just the way physics work and how kinetic energy tries to move through a piece, right? So it's going to find the path. It's going to find a sharp point, and it's going to crack right there. Same way, like when you see guys test knives, right? And sorry, I don't know why I air quoted knives. But when you test people, when you see people, I guess I know why. But anyways, I won't say it. It's just going to be that guy. So when you see people test knives, and then all of a sudden their blade breaks, and you see like a dark line or a dark area where there was a crack that they didn't see. It was like a tiny little hairline. Well, why would that affect a blade that's this wide? Well, all of those force stresses were put on an infinitely small point. All of those stresses that should have flexed evenly all went right into that one place, and then it popped open. It propagated that crack throughout the entire piece with forces that are just out of this world. And so the same way why welds fail. Welds can crack when there's porosity in them. If you do electric arc welding, you know this to be so. If you get a little porosity in your weld, each one of those areas act as like a little stress riser. And when they can crack between them and you're putting something under strain, it's going to go right where that spot is, and it's going to, it's going to break open. No matter how clean the weld looks on the outside, if it's got porosity or if it's got voids or junk in it, each one of those acts as a stress riser. So same thing is, no matter what it is you're making, your axes, your folding, however you want to make your axe, keep that in mind for what it's being used for. Adzes are made the way the adzes are made because they need to compensate for the forces that they are under. And that's why they're done that way. So that's why they can be welded that way. Whether it's stronger, it might be stronger in that particular application, but maybe, the way you would weld up an adze would not be great for a felling axe because there's a lot more lateral loads that it's undertaking. So that would be my only thoughts on it. I can't speak to the actual making of it itself without you showing me kind of a makeup of whatever you're doing. So, and I'm sure there's other makers have done it. I think someone said Niels did that often. Mm-hmm. That it's probably, and Black Bear Forge did it. So awesome,
Yeah.
Yep.
Same basic amount of forge welds, but just different locations, I believe, says Barncat Forge.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So, when you're thinking about forge welding, scarfing joints, stuff like that, making anything in the forge that's tooling related, you really got to give some thought to what is the tool being used for and what is it, what does it mean? Same thing like if you were making a chisel that is going to be struck by a hammer. Well, is the hammers that are going to be used on it, are these like hammers that are like super hardened faced hammers? Well, maybe you don't want a super hard face of the back of a chisel that you're going to be whacking. You might cause some shattering and some splintering there, and that wouldn't be good, right? For no one that's involved. So you design tools for purpose for whatever it is whatever they're doing. A lot of the tongs I've made, I know a while ago, Daniel Moss and I kind of got in a little internet kind of tit for tat. This has been years and years and years ago. We're good friends. We're fine. But Daniel Moss and I got a little tit for tat years ago because he had a problem with the way I was forging my tongs out of 1/4x1 flat bar stock. And he was saying, well, that messes with the grain and those are terribly weak and they would never survive. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, I've been using these for like 5 years this way, using this method. They're just fine in what I'm doing. And what it was is we were kind of speaking past each other, with all the male ego in the world. We were speaking past each other because his work, he does a lot of power hammer stuff. In fact, predominantly a lot of power. He's got a big old, I think it's a 400 weight hammer, so it is a big old massive hammer that he works under. Well, yeah, my flimsy little tongs aren't going to handle bar stock under a big power hammer. There's too many forces being generated there. So yeah, you have to have much thicker and heavier set of tongs when you're working under a gigantic power hammer like that to resist the forces that are going on in the steel. Whereas my work has all been more finicky,
dainty,
small, dainty kind of stuff. My work hasn't been big chunks of material that I need to hold on to and massively forge out on a power hammer. No, it's just been what I can hit with a 1 3/4 pound hammer doing work, right? So yes, he was correct, but also incorrect. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
so he was correct. I was correct. We were both correct, but we were wrong because we were inferring on totally two different applications. So that's why it is hard. That is why it's hard to make complete statements in the world of smithing. So if you ask me, hey, what hammer is the best? The one that's in your hand that you're using currently. I don't know. I don't know what your project is, right? I can't tell you.
There's no one singular right answer.
There's no one singular right answer with it because it is all about context. Especially when it comes to tooling or process. So it would wear me out. Some of the tongs I see guys using at power hammers, it would wear me out during a day if I had to use that. You know, my hand would be like 3 times its size right now. It would be so swole if I had to use some of the tongs that some of these guys are using. It makes sense for what they're doing, but for the little tiny things that I'm doing, doesn't make sense at all. So, yep.
Down Under Farm and Forge, good to have you. Eli,
Down Under, hello.
Good evening.
And Eli, good to have you here.
One size doesn't fit all. Nope, does not. Down Under.
Debak, make your ego deflectors up. Yeah, that's right. Yep. A Barcat Forge. We were both correct from a certain point of view. Yep, exactly. So, but it's interesting how talking, just talking, having communication online like this, you can sometimes have those you can do it in person too, have misconnections. You're both saying the same thing, but
with different words.
Just different words, right? Like my chain of thought is on a different path that'll lead to the same outcome as your chain of thought. And so that's where it's kind of hard. Words are hard sometimes. Dialogue is hard.
They are. Yep.
It's very difficult.
Lego my ego.
Yeah, Lego my ego. Yeah. Yep. I've gotten in a few debates with people that I've had to let go of my ego on that one and think about it from the concept. Maybe this is a bit of wisdom creeping in there from debating people for so long and being part of the platform of YouTube for so long coming in. I've had to actually stop and say, what is it at this juncture in time? Why aren't we seeing eye to eye? Not the particular thing we're debating on, but what is it? I feel like we're closer. I feel like we're both saying the same thing, but we're just not connecting. And if you can just voice that, if you're ever in a debate with someone and it's getting heated and it's like getting out of hand, if you can ever just do that, like, I just want to take a moment and just be like, what are we missing on? What's the core issue that I'm not getting on your end? Don't be yelling at me right now. It's like, because I can yell at you too, but we're not solving whatever this is, and if people could just do that more, things would be a lot easier. But, I don't want to preach to anybody out there, but it would be communication would go a lot better versus us, just getting all upset and being like monkeys, and I growl and you get, and then we're throwing poop at each other and you're throwing poop at me. And then, before you know it, like everyone's looking like with their cell phones out, like putting it on TikTok for like 1 billion views.
Yep.
1 billion unmonetized views, so like, yeah. And it was all over a very simple misunderstanding. So, yep.
Jeffrey Jones, ask 5 blacksmiths how to make a leaf and you will get 5 different answers and none of them are wrong.
Yep, pretty much.
Apes together strong, says Ken Foster.
Yeah, Eli. No way. We have to disagree, and you're wrong.
Sounds a little forceful.
That's a triple negative.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, Eli. Can't argue with stupid. That's my favorite thing to use when when someone says, "No, you're definitely wrong." I'm like, okay, well, you know what they say, can't argue with stupid. You just leave it at that, walk away. It's the best time to walk away, too, because you don't give them any additional opportunities to continue the conversation. So
Leave them wanting.
yeah, you leave them wanting. Leave them all unfulfilled on the inside. So, yep. Well, I get a kick out of it sometimes when people troll me on the internet. Like on YouTube. I haven't had so many here lately, you know, knock on wood, but I haven't had so many here lately of people trolling on YouTube. But I find it fun when someone really disagrees with me, is to just give them one kind of super insulting comment and then just block them. So this way they can never reply to me. And I just get a tickle out of it because I'm like, they're probably steaming right now. They're not sleeping. They should be going to bed right now, but they're hating this guy. And they can't tell this guy how much they hate me. And that's really chapping them. It just makes me laugh all the more. So
Ken Foster says, work in a public service job. You'll come home and try to wash all the stupid off more often than you think.
Oh, Lord.
I bet.
Hey there, Troy. Bar Run Forge is here. Hello, hello. And howdy, howdy, howdy.
Bar Run Forge the Elder?
Yeah, the Elder. The Elder.
Rooster Bull says, have you ever built a hammer or tool like a horseshoe creaser? If so, how do you temper it?
I have not ever built a horseshoe creaser. So that's something I haven't done. I would temper it much, because it's a struck tool, I would heat treat it much like you would any other type of hot cut tool. So you'd want to have a decently hard edge. So you would want to draw that back a little bit. Depending on what type of steel you're using. Say if you're using a 1045 in a simple heat treat method, I would take the edge of the creaser to a bronze color, and then I would take the rear of the creaser to a purple and leave it at that. So that's what I would do. What's up?
Oh, he said, okay, I said that wrong. Did we emphasize the wrong part of your statement? Remember that with 50% of the population is above average in intelligence, average is not that high. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Barncat Forge. Oh, Ken Foster, yeah. You're not lying. The amount of times I've had to shake my head and just walk away. Yeah, Dragonstone. So, you're needing a good trolling, eh? Go ahead, buddy. It's fine. That's probably because I just haven't posted any videos on that. I know. I know. I'm bad. I haven't posted any videos in a little while. So, that's probably why I haven't had any
trolling comments.
Comments.
That's probably the case.
Might be the symptom there.
Might be.
Or that might be the cause of the symptom, right? You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Don't post content, don't get trolls.
Imagine that working.
It's all right. I'm getting ready to get back into that world anyhow, so it'll be fun. I'll get to engage. I'll get to remind everyone why I've earned the title of the least likable blacksmith on YouTube.
Yeah, got some good stuff, huh?
Oh man, it's so much fun. I enjoy hanging out with you all. Thank you. I'm sorry it's such a boring stream. No forging, no heat, no smacking hot steel around. It's just a talkie. You can keep it over there by you.
Thanks.
So, sorry about that, folks. Really wish I could do better than that, but just the way the chips have fallen. So,
yep.
So some in other news, we'll talk a little bit about, because we were talking about 10 years, right?
Yep, we did cover that.
So we did cover that. I do want to just want to reiterate that we are thankful for 10 years on the platform. We are thankful for all of you that have stuck by our side for 10 years and kept with us. I plan on being here another 10 years, good Lord willing, or 20, or 30 years, or however long this show continues to go on. So that is my plan. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long game. A lot of people on YouTube quit after 10 years. You know, they quit, they stop, they go do something else with their lives. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. I'm invested, and I'm invested in a great community, so I'm going to keep on doing that. With that being said, I would also like to thank everybody for their patience with my lackluster performance in putting out content and putting out videos. It has been a whirlwind trick. It seems like life has gotten insanely busy, and I know everyone can have that excuse, and everyone's done, you know, everyone knows what life is like right now, and it can be very, very busy. But the type of content that I plan on coming back with and really putting out on YouTube, and quite a bit of, is, like I said before in the previous stream, is going to be taking you all on a journey and bringing you, you know, there'll still be some like small tutorial videos and stuff for the beginners and some of the intermediate smiths, but my plan is to help bring people from that kind of beginner intermediate stage along on the journey to advance your skill sets even more. That way I can keep the content on the channel interesting and relevant to you all, because you're all developing out there. You're developing smiths. Some of you are further beyond than I am, and you watch me out of just like, well, let's see how the other half lives, you know? So, you know, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad to have a good group of wise guys, you know, and wise gals out there that maybe know more about a lot of subjects than I do. And so I'm happy with that. But I do plan on the content going forward to be educational content, and I do believe I want it to be around the subjects I want to undertake, which is Baroque ironwork. So that is my main goal, and that's the thing I want to go after. And so that means the video editing is going to take a little bit longer to do. Deciding kind of what type of, you know, what I want to share and when is going to take a little bit more figuring out, but it's going to be some awesome content, I think. And, you know, it will still have the same me in it. The same me as always, teaching it. But I just hope to find some interesting things that can help develop other people's skills, as well as serving my own personal, it scratches my own personal itch, right? You know, my own creative niche that I like to be in. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We keep hoping for something interesting to happen. Yep. I know. Suckered you again. You know what they say. There's no wisdom in a second kick of a mule.
Well, I thank you, Down Under. I'm glad I'm never boring.
Yeah, Jessica's always amazing and interesting.
Robert Lana says, my father used to finish an argument by saying, you're right, and then walking away. That is a good one.
Yeah, it is. That's a good way of finishing a conversation. So, but yeah, so good. I think there's going to be some great things on the horizons, especially this year. I have some really interesting stuff. I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say what it is, because I know I'll jinx it. I know I will. I'll promise it.
Just wait till you get there.
Something will happen and it won't show up.
Stay tuned for surprises. How about that?
Yeah, stay tuned for surprises. There'll be surprises, and I think there'll be more than welcomed one and good ones. So, yep, It's got to be fun. Yeah, same thing Roy does with barf. LOL. Yeah.
Chuck, so you might be saying this is the year of the kilt. LOL.
Nope, won't be the year of the kilt.
Year of the French broke toilet spoon.
Ken Foster, 1 hint per video.
1 hint.
Yeah, we'll give you 1 hint per video of what we're working on. Yeah. No, videos are fun to make. when people are having fun watching them and people are getting a lot out of them. So they become fun to make. And I miss making a lot of content. So I'm wanting to get back towards that as much as I can. Hard part for me, I'm 100% in or 100% out kind of guy. And so if I feel like I can't give something 100% or give it my all, then I don't do it. And it's kind of hard balancing that, you know, when you feel like you have to give 100% to other things, and then you just don't have I don't personally have the mental space to do 100% on something else, you know. So when I'm present with my kids, I'm 100% dad. I'm not business guy. I'm not, you know, dad the YouTube star, the dad anything. I'm dad 100% of the way. When I'm with Jess, same thing. I'm 100% her husband, period, done. Like, you know, that's how I am. When I'm talking about business for the day or the things we have to do around the shop or whatever,
Roy.
I am 100% there. So,
Oh, I said that's Boss Roy.
Yeah, that's Boss Roy. She
That's
knows.
not Hubby Roy.
Yeah, that's not Hubby Roy. That's Boss Roy at that point in time, and I'm just 100% committed to that line of thinking during that. And so with that, it's been hard to balance that with YouTube videos as well and be 100%. Okay, I'm doing videos only right now, and so I need to get back into doing that, even if it lets some of the other things kind of slack a little bit. But they'll be coming out, and that's what makes them good. That's what makes them very informative, is because I give my 100% at it. I'm not, you know, distracted. There's no ulterior motive. I'm there because I honestly want to teach something, and I want to get it out of here and out into you all out there. So, yep.
Byron says I'll come up and work in the summertime just to watch Roy lilt like a flower when it's above 75 degrees.
Yeah, I'll melt. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you see all this frozen sherbet standing upright, it becomes a sherbet goo. It becomes summer.
We were just talking about that yesterday. Roy's like, my least favorite season is summer.
Yep.
It's like, I can deal with any other season. Ken Foster says, Jessica, let's get some B-roll of Roy dancing on the loading screen.
There you go.
That'd be a good one.
Dragonstone, Gem, and Ironworks. Any gargoyles and French Baroque scrolly things?
Most certainly.
There probably will be. There's going to be a few mechanical Baroque things, but we're not saying what they are. There you go. There's your hint. There'll be some Atomo something and others in the mix. So it ought to be fun. Yeah, Roy in summer. The emoticon melting.
It's like Olaf.
Yep.
Olaf out of Frozen.
Yep,
that's right.
That's me in the summer. I hate it. It does not. Summer does not fit my personality. You're talking to a guy who wears pants all the time, even in summer. The only time I wear shorts are swimming trunks when I go to the beach.
And then your legs are in the water. So
and then my legs are in the water. So.
They might as well be pants, swimming pants.
Yeah, those are my swimming pants.
If you could buy swimming pants, I'm sure you would.
Those jeggings. Let me get some jeggings for the beach.
There you go.
I'll be all right.
There you go. Yep.
I'll be the only fat guy out there with a wetsuit on in midsummer.
The water's cold enough for it.
Yeah, John Stamos legs. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. LMAO. Roy and my forge in summer would be entertaining. South Carolina humidity and heat. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I'd be dead. I mean, that's what I would be on your concrete floor. I'd be panting like a dog laying there. That'd be about it. So you wouldn't be getting any work out of me. Oh.
No. He went to Florida in November, and that was like 80 degrees.
And that was
I don't
too
even
much.
know.
Yeah, that was too much. I felt ill.
Yeah.
Felt ill. I met some other guys down there who was doing some forging at their shop, and I just felt ill the whole time I was there. So heat, headache, and the whole bit, throbbing.
Oh, is that when you went to your sister's to have dental work?
Yep.
That would have been in March 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was
think.
March, and it was hot.
Yeah,
then. It was like 75 plus degrees. I'm like, oh, I'm dying. So. No jeggings, get a kilt.
Get a kilt.
You're missing
But
the point.
see, he's
I
trying to
don't
keep the
like-
legs covered.
I don't like my comely ankles, okay? I like to keep them hidden.
Keep them under wraps. Keep them away from the black flies, like you do.
Yeah, exactly. So, my favorite beach is an empty beach where there's no one else. So, yeah. Yeah, Eli, us fluffy folks struggle in the heat. That's right. That's right. Have you seen marshmallows around a campfire? Nothing ever good comes of it.
Yeah. Ken Foster, I grew up 100 degrees over 100 days in the summer. I go back home from Minnesota and I can still tolerate it. My wife's side of the family melts.
Yep, exactly.
But they wear shorts in 30-degree weather and flip-flops. They probably don't stay outside
Yeah.
for very long.
Yep. Me, I'm a naturally like hot-blooded person. So like in the winter, like you can ask Jess, she uses my hands as hand warmers.
They're probably warm right now.
Yeah, they are.
Mine are cold.
Yep, they're warm. So
I did turn the furnace down to like 62.
yeah,
It was a
like
little warm
like
earlier.
my hands, where most people where they've got I mean when I go ice fishing, I dip my hands in the water and scoop the ice water chunks out, to clear the hole so I can see the fish in the bottom, right? Like I do that with bare hands. I don't have neoprene gloves or nothing like that. Like I ice fish with bare hands and stuff like that. So like my hands are always hot and toasty, and my body, I just have really high body heat. So yeah, summer does not work well with me. It just does not. Yep.
Redbeard's Ford says, I've been tasked to make legs for a slab of 2-inch thick wood for what would be a drinking bar to sit at, but not sure of the best way to attach and be strong without going through the wood.
Make legs for a 2-inch slab of 2-inch thick wood. Yeah, best way to be strong. Look up. So I've seen it done several different ways. One way you could do it is you put in like a blind nut, basically. You epoxy in the bottom, like a nut zert almost. I don't know if you're familiar with those, or like a riv nut, where it goes in. Usually it rivs up, but they have something similar where it's just like a sleeve that has a thread in it, and you epoxy that. So you drill a hole in the bottom that's going to line up with. Right, and you epoxy that nut into place, and then that's how you crank it down and you hold it. So it's actually the epoxy bond around that nut that's in the hole that attaches it to the base. So depending on how your legs are designed, I'm imagining they're not just 4 straight legs without any side supports of any kind. Look that up. Look up nut zerts like that. A T-nut or something like that. Yeah, anything that you could put a blind nut inside the wood itself, it's going to be great. So I forget the exact terminology. I'm botching it. I forget the exact terminology they use on that. But that's one way of doing it. If it's completely unavoidable for you because of the client's wishes or expectations or whatever you're doing, if you can't hide it, make it a feature. Right? So instead of haphazardly doing it, like if you can't hide it, make it a feature. If you have to have a weld showing, make it a feature of the piece. If you have to have rivets showing, make them a feature of the piece. Right? So that's kind of the best way I can explain it to you. There's a lot of times texture goes a long way on bar stock to mess up little gouges or scratches on a piece, so like, you might forge texture a whole thing, to get rid of some bad spots where, maybe got a little careless with a welder or something, like, all of a sudden the whole thing's textured and it's got a matte finish, right? So, so if you can't hide it, make it a feature, pretty much. That would be your best thing. And you can make it kind of a cool feature. I guess in my mind, I'm picturing a 2-inch slab of wood with just big, thick legs that go down to a taper, and like a modern minimalist styling. They go down like a straight taper, have little balls on the end of them or whatever, little club foots, and you just tenon it straight through and put a nice decorative washer on top and peen down a nice head on the top of it. Make it a feature of the thing, like give it that strong look to it. I don't know. It's just one thought. Don't know what you're working with, but Art Deco all the way. Everybody, winter coats on at 60 degrees. Yep.
Yeah, not that long ago we were about 0 degrees here for at least 2 solid weeks.
Yep.
And really built the ice real thick for the ice fishing. It's like Roy's been doing some ice fishing before this slight warm up, and it was like what, 24-inch thick ice out on the lake.
We had 2 foot thick of ice out on the lake, so really good time. I find it fun. I don't know. Most people find it boring, but I find it fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, he got some fancy gear. He got like a little underwater camera, and his dad had like a little fish sonar, and so they were like, and then they could see the big fish underneath them at least. You know, he didn't get any real big ones to bite, but as far as the big fish go, but you could see them, you know they're there.
Yeah. Yep. Ken Foster, yes. Roy, you settled an argument. I'm glad I settled whatever argument you were having.
My wife says I talk weird 2 foot, not 2 feet.
2 leg or 4 legs? I doubt it's got to have 4 or 3, minimum 3.
Winter Wonderland equal frozen hellscape. All about that point of view. Oh yeah.
Oh, you'd like it, Darren. You'd like it. You get out here. You would like it.
It was miserable here all of January and February. So much cold and snow.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to one of our customers recently who's in Texas, and they were like, oh, the weather here in the morning is like 30 degrees, but by the afternoon we're 80 degrees. That's a pretty big swing.
Yep.
morning to midday.
Yep. Jeffrey Jones, waxworms is bait. Yeah, little waxies is bait, or red wrigglers, and tungsten jig. That's what I was bringing them in on. So I went from a really bright tungsten jig and that was pretty good at bringing them in, but they just kind of bit it a little, but kind of kept spitting it out. They didn't really like that one. They weren't hitting that one hard. And I switched over to a little black tungsten jig with a little red wriggler on the back, and that thing, bam, that was fire. That was money. So limited out in a day on perch. So limited out on perch and Cisco. So, yep, it was a great day of fishing. Great day. It was hard to get off the lake. It was so good. Even though I limited out, so.
Down Under says we got 4 inches of snow. I think I almost died caring for animals.
4 inches of snow. Oh, that's funny. We got 4 inches of slush in the driveway right now. So, and that is condensed a foot of snow. So.
Ken Foster says, I was surprised. My daughter's school took the kids out on an ice fishing for a lake for 3 hours one day. I didn't know that was an option growing up.
Oh, that's cool. Definitely wasn't an option for me. When I was growing up.
Growing up north is different. It sure is.
That it is. There's a whole week up here that is dedicated.
Yeah,
because there's not
hunting.
there's a lack of attendance during school. Opening season. On deer season,
they
take it off.
Take the day off for opening day.
Yep, for opening day.
Season.
Yep. They take most of the week off because there's not enough people in attendance. Everyone calls off. Everyone calls off sick. Everyone's like, I can't be there, teach. You know.
The schools
See you on the stand later.
I was gonna say the schools up here do have to run until June though for the amount of time off for snow and ice and other activities.
Yep.
They're still going in
Daniel,
June.
take care. I didn't see him leave, but Daniel, take care. So, yep. Schools up north are a bit different. Yep, a little bit different. Traditions are a little bit different up here, but really cool. So,
Ken Foster, I heard something similar for farm harvesting in some places.
Yep. It's kind of interesting because it literally is like a national holiday up here. But like it's places are closed, lots of businesses close.
They do, yeah.
Like it's like, why are you closed?
And then they have a whole bunch
midweek.
of
They're closed because they're out hunting currently. And like, good luck to you.
Oh yeah, and then they have a bunch of what do they call that, deer widows events up here for all the
widows.
women.
Yeah,
that was the first
widows.
time I had ever heard of that. I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh yeah, it's all the women who's the husbands are out hunting and the women get together and do activities while they're gone. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, everyone's at buck camp. So
yeah,
everyone's at deer camp.
Byron says they're all off for the country fair or county fair.
Yeah, for the county fair. Yep. Stuff like that in small communities is a big deal, and it's worth kind of celebrating, even if it's not done nationally, right? But it's a local thing that it's like, yep, everybody kind of gets on the same page and gets prepared to do it. And it's cool when small communities, farming communities and things like that come together and do that. All come together and, do that. Yeah, Dear Lonely Ladies Day. Jeff Kelly, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
See, Redbeard says, yeah, okay. I was thinking maybe rivet through with a nice washer. I'd have to get with the client. But first thought was a straight pipe with the support, but flaring the pipes top and bottom. So doing like a flared fitting that just attaches from the bottom. I mean, that sounds like that would work too.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Crawford says, Roy, you going to be in deer camp this year?
Probably not. So, mainly because I don't have a group of guys that I would go to deer camp with, so don't have that. But, no, I haven't been hunting in years. So, usually it falls right when I get the busiest, too. So when our business really picks up, it falls right on that time frame.
I think it's like mid-November up here.
Yeah, it's like mid-November, which we're in full swing, full production mode at that point. We're working 90 plus a week, hours a week. So it's like, it's nowhere on my mind, I guess, opening season or opening day, on that. But, yep.
Ken Foster says, yep, I seen the Widow's Week in Wisconsin. It's more like the wives want the husbands gone. They're like, get out of here.
Yeah, I figure the only way I'm going to get deer during opening season is with the truck. I have to aim for them with the truck, with the silver bullet.
I do have a nice cozy view of our back end of our property from my studio.
Yeah,
so.
She's been wanting some deer, so we might just have to have a deer camp here on our own property and just shoot out of her warm studio window.
I mean, that's the best deer blind ever.
Yeah.
Jeff Gillian says, first day of deer season was always a paid holiday for me. Second day optional without pay.
Yep, exactly. So it's fun. It's fun. I don't know. Different traditions like that are fun. North definitely has some interesting ones. So one I hope to get on with is a smelt run. I haven't been able to get anybody to go with just yet up here up north. So I'm hoping to find somebody who'll get me invited to doing a smelt run when smelt runs, because I had some downstate years ago when I did a class at Tiller's International. A guy took me to a local place that they did deep fried smelt, and oh my god, that was like the best fish stick you ever ate. So I was like, ooh, man.
Yeah, smelt as in the fish.
yeah, as in the fish. Yeah, smelt. Yep. Yep, I wouldn't mind doing a smelt run. So those
Is that a
those
spring
are pretty
thing?
cool. I think it's a
So?
spring thing. So yep, you catch them on their way. Yep. That's a bait fish down south. Yeah, yeah. Well, they're real good. They're real good. So
Oh yeah.
yep, real easy to clean too, from what I gather. So pretty much all you do is you take the head off, take the tail off, swipe the center out. That's it. And then you can, butter and deep fry that sucker. Batter and deep fry it, and then it's a great fish stick.
Ken Foster says that's a bait fish down south.
Yeah, oily, huh? Might be a little bit oily. I thought they were good.
You eating smelt? They always use them as bait. Well.
It is, yeah. Hey, it's good. I'm just not gonna lie, they're good. So, you're allowed a 2-gallon limit up here, so you fill a 2-gallon bucket full of them. Yeah, any type of smelt, rainbow smelt, you name it. So, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been hankering for fish anyway lately.
Yeah, yeah, I've just had a fried fish hankering for a while. Please forgive me. But anyways, on other life news, we'll get across that. So my daughter is a published author now.
She is.
Which is really cool.
Yes,
pretty excited. So
logo of
Jessica's
her
wearing
shirt.
a logo of her book. Yeah, there you go. So she's wearing a logo of her book. So, so I'm a proud papa. So I'm just going to go ahead and gush on my daughter for a minute, if you will, do me. So anyway, so this is written by my daughter. So she's 16 this year, which is crazy to think that I have a 16-year-old daughter, and a 14-year-old daughter in my house as of this year. Like, they're getting old. But anyways, the title of her book is The Fernshade Chronicles, Fernhaven Rising by Abigail Adams. So try to rotate this on the thing. You can see what
we got
looks
the
like.
giant one too.
You got that.
Bring
You
the
got that
giant
giant one.
one.
So, anyways, you can see. So she did this because she was inspired by another friend of hers that was doing a book, had done a trilogy, and so this is the first book in the series, and this is my first edition copy. There you go. That's a lot better.
Ta-da!
This was actually a Valentine's Day box at the homeschool group
does, yeah.
that they did. So you have to bring it back, the focus points
Okay,
back
there we
here,
go, back
so
here,
they can
yeah.
see okay.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, yeah. So anyway, so she ended up finally publishing this book. So I'm quite proud of her for that, and it is a good book. But anyways, she did this and she illustrated the whole thing. So she actually did all of her own illustrations there, and wrote the entire story, herself. So pretty flippin' awesome, and so I've been super excited about that for her. So
Yeah.
this is a really cool thing. So that's been kind of a big,
It is.
a
It's been a
big
big
news
to-do.
thing around
Yeah.
here. A big to do, helping her get a website set up for her illustrating work that she's been doing, and doing stuff like that, and trying to help her along, as well as our other daughter, Annabelle. We've been just getting her along on like things. She's been helping mommy with jewelry in the workshop, and coming up with her own kind of designs and bracelets and
Yeah, we're starting an Etsy store for her. She loves everything history themed, and she loves like dressing up like Renaissance and Pioneer and stuff. And so I helped her brainstorm her own Etsy store, and it's called Charmed by History. And so she's doing like some history themed charm bracelets and things along those lines. So yeah.
An awesome red beards for her. So thank you for buying her book, The Fernshade Chronicles. That's awesome.
Yes,
That's
she's
awesome.
so excited.
Yeah, she's excited about that. So, and Ken Foster, she sent a copy to Library of Congress.
I
Nope.
don't know about that.
Don't know
so
how
I
to
will
do
have
that,
to look.
but-
I'll have to look into that. What's the benefit? Is that so it's
Kept forever. or
yeah,
something?
I know they have a registry of a lot of books, so maybe that's what it's for. If you send them a copy, maybe they add it to the registry of books.
Maybe. So, but anyway, so yeah, so I thought that was really cool.
Oh, I
she's
should
doing
read the
that.
back.
Annabelle's doing what? Huh? You want to read the
Yeah,
back?
I'll read the back of it. Sure.
Go ahead.
All right. This is like a little,
She's gonna
the
read
hook
part
of
of
the
it, yeah.
story. We were supposed to be the peace. Tucked beneath a canopy of emerald leaves and curling branches, Autumn Fenbrook, a young fox vixen, has always known a life of gentle rhythms. She's grown used to her parents' overprotective nature and her aunt following her wherever she steps outside. She knows the forest is dangerous, and it has been since the Great Divide, the war that separated the creatures of the forest into warring clans. So when Autumn overhears her parents whispering about a long-awaited gathering, a meeting that could finally mend the rifts between the clans, excitement blooms in her chest. Not only is it the first chance to have peace since the Great Divide, but it's also a chance to prove to Papa she is ready for more than her sheltered life at home. But Autumn begins to realize that peace is never as simple as it seems, and neither is the truth.
It's very good. So, yeah. And Ken Foster said, sending a copy of the book to the Library of Congress fulfills the legal mandatory deposit requirement for U.S. copyright registration.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
She'll look into that. So, yeah. That's all new to me. I couldn't answer it. I'm not up to date on all that. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's been pretty cool. That's been a big to do around here recently. And like I said, everything else everybody's been getting into. Annabelle, our daughter, she's getting into doing that. So Jessica's been real busy setting up websites and helping stuff with that. We're real big into entrepreneurship. Jessica's actually been teaching a class at our homeschool. At a homeschool group.
Two, actually.
That she's part
two
of. She's been teaching two classes. One for
fifth and sixth graders.
Fifth and sixth grades, and the other one's for sixth and up, right?
Seventh and up, yeah.
Seventh and up.
Teens and
so
tweens.
Teens, right, and tweens. So she's been teaching a class on entrepreneurship. Huh?
I have, yeah.
Yep,
I have,
yep.
for
And she's
sure.
been enjoying that. She's been doing quite a bit. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. My younger kids' class, theirs is more of kind of an introduction to entrepreneurship, and then they're starting to delve a little bit into like doing their own little side hustles. So like their homework this last week was they're supposed to come up with 3 ideas of things that they would like to do as their business. And then with my older class, after last week's lesson, I sat down with them and I wrote down like which enterprise each one of them is going for. Some of them have like plans that are like for now in the moment, and they're going to start taking action on them. Some of them are more like long-term goals, like they're going to have to be at least 18 to pursue some of this. Like one of my students, he wants to be an electrician and then have his own business eventually. Another one of my students wants to get into farming. So it's a lot of fun being able to kind of share the knowledge that we've acquired over time and pass that on and inspire young minds.
Yep. And then Mr. Crawford said, Etsy store? She may have to commission her favorite blacksmith into making some magic wands for her Etsy store. Yeah, and I will have to make out some Baroque cloak pins. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, French Baroque cloak pins. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, she loves cloaks. Yep. We haven't found any quite yet. I've tried to find some that specifically need cloak pins, and I haven't just found quite the right type yet. The ones she has so far already have like an attachment, and the fabric isn't quite right for a cloak pin. It's like if you were to put a cloak pin in it, it's going to tear a hole in it. I've read that, you need like a thicker, chunky knitted wool one or something like that, and I'm just not quite sure where to get that as of yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's been pretty cool. Yeah, been a lot involved with that. So
yeah.
I've also started the first reading through. I'm not going to show it off because this is pre-production, so I'm not going to put it off there yet. But I've got something here that I'm thinking is going to be really good. Once it's actually in print, I plan on hopefully getting a few of these books in and even giving them away during our live stream. Just depends on what. Hopefully by Christmas, we'll see if he has this in print by then. But I've been reading through this manuscript. You guys can't see it probably on there, but it's Metallurgy for Blacksmiths and Knife Makers by Patrick Nowak. So there is an incredible amount of detail in this. Like I said, I can't show it off yet because I'm just reading through it. But There are graphs. He's a metallurgist. He's an industrial metallurgist. So he knows his stuff. He's been to college, got multiple degrees for said things and that type of stuff. And I know Pat does some awesome forgings, real big forgings and stuff. If you all remember the video I posted, it's been 3 years back now, where I was working on those 500-pound Bradley strap hammers. Did you see? If you guys seen that video, that was Pat Nowak's shot. And yeah, really awesome guy. I mean,
He really knows his stuff.
He really knows his stuff, and he is so patient with my dumb questions about metallurgy. He is so good at taking something that is a high detail information and bringing it down here where like a guy like me can grasp and understand. Now, I am not sponsored by Pat. I'm not getting paid to say any nice things. Pat is a good friend of mine, and I'm just giving an overview of how awesome I think his book's going to be. It is rich. It goes on everything from how iron is made, how steel is made, brought down to like I said, brought down to a level that I think that is going to be very good for a lot of people. So actually, when I've been reading this so far, it's like having Pat in my head. So it's literally like it's him. It's got a good bit of him in it. I know he's been working on putting this together for over 3 years now. So it's going to be a really, really good book. And I do plan on, when he has it fully finished, and I can get some copies of it and stuff when he's ready to sell it and things, I do plan on giving some of those away during the Great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway as soon as I can purchase them. So as soon as I can purchase them from him and support another blacksmith and another wonderful gentleman, I plan on doing so. To be able to support him in that way, it's going to be great because, like I said, he has a lot of really highly technical, advanced technical explanations on stuff, distilled down to fairly simple, easy learn terms and stuff like that. So I think it's great, especially if you're the type of person that kind of cares about the hows and whys something is versus like, well, it just is what it is, and that's how we do it because, well, just because, right? I like to dig down deep into information like that. So that's a long one for me. I'm a really slow reader. I do not read fast. I'm very meticulous when I read, so it's going to take me a little while to proofread this one, but yeah. But now I just want to mention that out just because I've been getting into that. I think that it's awesome. So I'm already giving it a glowing review and I ain't got to the end information. I'm not going to possibly be able to read the whole entire thing. I'm only going to read the things that are pertinent to me that I'm going to cherry pick some areas that I find super interesting. And then, it's going to be a great addition to my library for sure. So,
Wayne, good evening. Say hello to Barbara for us.
Yeah, Wayne, hello.
A Forge Works says, just got home from work. How was your Christmas and New Year's? It was very nice. We had, like a week and a half that we took out of the shop and just took a break because we had been slammed like the 10 weeks prior, like working like 12, 14-hour days. And so we just took some time off, enjoyed time with the kids, watched movies, played games. I think we went out once and did a hike and did a little bit ice fishing. And spent some time relaxing. And then New Year's Eve, or New Year's, was pretty quiet. Roy and I just relaxed, and the girls went out to a party with their friends at a neighbor's house. And so, it's been nice. And then here since the first of the year, just been kind of getting back onto task in the shop, making improvements and trying to get set up well for this new year.
Yep. So I'm busy right now. One of the things that's been on the docket, we've started our spring cleaning around here a little bit sooner than than anticipated because it's not spring yet here in northern Michigan. But I've got some equipment coming, and I've got some ways of doing things around the shop that are going to make Thomas and I a lot more efficient and and make things a lot easier for us in the shop. And so I've been restructuring a lot inside the shop, changing a lot of things. And so we've been sawing and building and drilling and screwing and putting, nailing things and, insulating a portion of the shop and all that to take and make things just that much better of a working environment for us to work with and to be able to better serve everybody out there in the blacksmith community. And so that's been a big undertaking, as projects usually are of that size. One of the biggest tricks to it is nothing in the barn is square, plumb, or true of any kind. There is no 90-degree corner inside that place. Like there is not. Like a wall can be that much out and that much out that way, and you're just like, how in the heck, is it this way? So trying to frame and put things to that and put insulate and do things like that, it is one hell of a trick. It's one hell of a trick. So that's actually part 2 of why we're not in the shop this evening as well. Beyond the flooding, that was an additional surprise for this morning when we came out to it. But beyond the flooding this morning that we did not anticipate, but yeah, the shop's been kind of a wreck. Things are all scattered everywhere. So it's like a living nightmare for me. I'm a type of guy, I got to have things like every tool has a home, everything has a spot. And so right now everything's blah inside my shop. So it doesn't feel too homey right now. So
Redbeard says, just like you, Roy, always a little off.
Well, thank you, Redbeard. Thank you for noticing. Just a little askew I am. Just a little askew. Unique.
Jeffrey Jones says, my house was built in the late 1800s. Nothing is square.
Yep. Yeah. Roger Caldwell, got to cut every piece. Exactly. You can't just set, like if you were building a wall, you can't just put a bunch of 2x4s in a chop saw and go, and they're all the same size. Nope. Can't do that. I mean, you can, but it won't match anything that's in there. So every piece has to be hand cut. Every piece has to be coped in. Everything has got to have, some special something done to it. So none of it's just straight line cut and put it in spot. So, yeah, called controlled chaos. Yeah, that's right, Jack. That's exactly what it is. It's controlled chaos.
A Forge Works says, when was the barn built?
So it was rebuilt almost 100 years ago. So it's like 80 years ago. It was rebuilt here. It is older than that, though. It's over 100 years old. The barn lumber is over 100 years old. They took it down from about 6 miles from the north of here and apparently decided to rebuild it here. So
recycling.
They rebuilt it here, but when they reused all the beams and all the wood and stuff in it, of course you have that ghost from, because everything was traditionally joined, right? Everything was traditional joinery. So you have some echoes from the past, what it used to be, that's no longer there.
Right.
And I have that on good account, so that's not just me guessing. That is from the deed when they officially said that it was on this place, and it's also from good account from local older folks that are still living here, remember when the barn was built here. So, they're like, oh yeah, that was built whenever. That was there when I was a kid or whatever. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that it came from a farm 6 miles up the way, 6 miles to the north of us up the way, and they deconstructed it and rebuilt it on this particular piece of ground. So that's kind of cool. But when they did that, maybe it was plumb and square when they originally built it.
Doubt it,
but it's not now. So nothing is plumb, nothing is square. So I do a lot of like, okay, let's make it look square, even though it's like this is running off this way into space, and then we'll hide all that.
A lot of the beams, they're not sawn beams. They're literally a massive chunk of tree.
Yep.
It's like, well, this tree is pretty straight. Let's use that.
Yep. So our the beams in my shop, so the main beams that go up, the main columns that you see that go up all the way up to the top. So those are nearly 30 feet tall, and they're straight. And they're cedars. So they are actually cedars, and they are 18, they're probably 22 inches at the butt at the base and probably 18 inches at the top across 30 some odd feet. Just straight up. One straight continuous timber. So you're never finding those timbers ever again. Not in this portion of the country anyhow. You'll never find a tree that big to get those size timbers again out of it. So, yep.
Kid KV says, if I remember right, that treadle hammer was in an old book that wasn't a blacksmithing book.
Depends on what treadle hammer you mean. Yes, treadle hammer has been around for a long time. The idea of a treadle hammer has been around for a long time. So, yep. Pretty much a hammer on a pivot with a spring and a bit of rope and some sort of way of treadling it. You know, that concept's been around for a real long time. Yeah. Maybe they came from Lebanon. Maybe they might have. I don't know. They are huge. They're huge cedars, and that's what holds up the whole place. They are incredibly solid still to this day, and so, you know. But yeah, they left bark on too. You know, they didn't peel them or nothing. They left bark on the whole bit and just put them up there. They faced one side with hewing. They hewed off one side. My only guess is that was part of the old barn structure. Some of those where they hewed off that because it was the facing side that you would put boards on. So that's probably why they took the time to hew it. Then other beams I have aren't hewed at all. But they do have traditional joinery where they spiked them in and did that. So yeah, so it's a much older barn. So it's a pretty old barn. Wonderful aesthetically, but God, it would be easier if I had just had enough money to build a brand new structure. If I had enough money to just build a brand new structure, I could build it plumb, true, square, you know, and do all that. But I just do not have enough money to build a brand new structure, so that's just not the way it's going to work. So, Stephen Parsons, hello, says, "Hey Roy, how is that flux business? I'm still waiting for my box of flux. I haven't gotten it yet. It's because I haven't started the business yet."
Super sparkly fairy flux.
Yep. Trying to read all the stuff there.
Amish may have built it.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
Not
I don't think it had been an Amish built. I don't think an Amish built barn. Old people built it. People from way back when. Pioneering spirit, you know, built it for sure. You know, I know there's a real big Norwegian influence in some of the barn architecture up here in northern Michigan, because a lot of them came in for being log rats, right? A lot of them came in for the logging in the logging industry and doing that's a big thing up here. Logging is so, you know, logging and sawmills. So they've been around about as long as Michigan's been a state. And even before Michigan's been a state, the logging was a very big thing up here. And them floating, you know, we have a lumberman's monument here.
Yep.
It's a monument to lumbermen's where they talk all about the logging trade that was in this area. So, and a lot of those were immigrants, predominantly from like Norway and, you know, Scandinavia and stuff like that. A lot of Norwegian descent people actually came up this way and ran, you know, the logging rafts. You know, it wasn't just Norwegian people, but many immigrants came up and did logging up in this area. So, so a lot of the barn structures around here, the ones that still survive, actually have that Norwegian flair to them. You know, which is pretty neat. There's some old barns up here that are really gorgeous. It's so sad they're running in disrepair, but unfortunately there's so few people who know how to repair them properly or would know how to take and do them, and you can't get insurance on them because they're so old that most farmers are opt to just let them go or push them over or whatever. It's really sucks because there are those old like Swedish style, they look like a cathedral. They're just a really super sleek looking barn. The way that they are, you know, they've got this bow top, this whale bow top with a little flick at the end. You know, and it's just like the craftsmanship, you know, in the woodwork that they did. You know, they found curved trees to make the they found, think about that. They found curved trees to hew to make curved beams for each one of the rafters, you know, on these things. So it's pretty insane to
And they don't look lumpy. Like, it's
no,
not like
they're
they were all
perfect, you
different,
know,
yeah.
and they look perfect across. I mean, they are probably lumpy as all get out.
But
By modern standards, if you went in there, you know. But those things are still standing to this day, but unfortunately, it costs so much to repair them, and then once they're repaired, no insurance company will insure them because of how old they are. So that a lot of them are just getting destroyed around here nowadays. So kind of sad. So I'm happy to be saving our barn that's been around for 100+ years. You know, it will celebrate its centennial. That's right, centennial.
100 years.
It'll celebrate its centennial. God willing, it'll celebrate its centennial birthday with me. So I will keep it standing. So. Oh, yep. Yeah, longhouse design.
Chuck's Norwegian.
Chuck's Norwegian. I totally get it. Yeah, just I just find that kind of, it's like, I think I know why they did that. Snow load. It's, you know, really sharp, that kind of thing. It doesn't hold snow. It doesn't hold snow real well, so I think that's why they did it. But I also just think it's like, we can, so we will. I think to a degree, it's just, you know, a byproduct of, you know, really good craftsmanship and builders showing off. It's like, oh, look at you. All you can do is a plain flat roof. Well, look at me, pal. You know, do that. I just think it's people showing that off, you know, so. Yep, Kit KV, yep, the Amish really built barns to last. Yep. Some of them still do. Some of them still do. Oh. Chuck, Amish would have made sure it was true, square, and plumb. Potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on Amish folk. So there are some Amish folk they're truly Amish and they really put the effort and they live up to the name of it, and then there's a lot of Amish folk that are not that great craftsmen people. So, so, you know, it's just like they're human beings, just like anybody else, you know. But that's about the only people who are willing to work on them anymore, too, though. You can't really find any real contractors that want to undertake, you know, buildings like my barn of that size. So, I know for what I got into it, you couldn't build that barn for what I got into it right now. There's not nowadays, you know. I mean, hell, the structure on it would cost more than what we even paid for our property, and then some, like 3x. So just to build as big and as tall and things like that, barns aren't just built like that anymore. It's not how they do them.
Yep. Chuck says our boats were built that way too and made them low and very fast, sleek, and could carry more than the French.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, so we've been doing that. A Forge Works asked, what on the horizon for blacksmithing builds? Good question. So let's see if we can do without giving too much away. One of the things Thomas and I are going to work on hopefully next week. Knock on wood, nothing comes out, no flooding, no craziness. We have a bunch of copper we save out of the plasma bed. We have a bunch of copper, and we save everything. So we tumble the copper for our blanks, our copper blanks. We tumble it, and through that tumbling process, you get kind of a fine slurry of copper particles that come off of that. And basically we dump all that water out, that slurry water out, and let it separate from, the copper, precipitate out of the water into a bucket, basically. And then we drain the bucket, we drain the water off, and then we bake off the excess moisture, and then we're with these fine little copper particulates. So we thought it'd be fun. He has a foundry. He has like a little foundry, like a little Vevor foundry thing. And with some crucibles, we thought it'd be fun to take and go from dust to hook. So we would take from the copper dust and melt it and see if we can forge that into a decorative copper hook. So, so that's a video we have planned for next week to be filming on. And assuming we can get the time to do so, and we're looking forward to doing that. So we got a bunch of other little pieces that come off, little dross pieces that come off the copper as well. So if the dust doesn't work out, we might throw or we don't have enough dust, by the time it smelts down to actually pour an ingot big enough that we can forge into a hook, then we will throw some of those little tiny copper dross pieces into the mix and try to get enough copper to make some nice hooks. Yeah, to make some nice hooks out of, some nice wall hooks, copper wall hooks. So that's one forging project of many I got planned for the future. One of the other ones I have planned for the future is a bell for the shop. I want to make a large school bell, kind of like a large school-like bell that will go up in the rafters. And that one's going to take a little bit of time to make, but I want to make one of those. I'm not going to get overly complex with the design. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. But I want it to, ring like a good bell, and I want it to be sounding clearly. And it's going to have some automatons in it. So, yeah. As part of its mechanical functioning. That's all I'm going to say about that. Then who knows? Something, and something else. From there on out. So, I will also be working on finishing as soon as the weather gets warm. I will be fully finishing out my grill that I started on, last year. And I will be finishing the gold work on it and get that done and finished. So, yep, so hopefully that will be able to be exhibited this year at some point.
Yeah.
There you go. And KKV, any photos of the flooding barn? Nope. Well, Jessica took some photos on her cell phone.
I don't have them set up where I can project them on the
It's not
screen.
a big deal. It's not crazy. Again, it's not like my tools float away or anything like that. It's not crazy. Nothing electrical got ruined. Anything like that. It's just a big puddle, ankle deep puddle. Little over ankle deep puddle.
It's taking up like half the forging area, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was more than you want to stand in and work in. So.
A Forgeworks says, that sounds pretty sweet. I'm planning to melt some copper for a bolster for a knife that I've been commissioned to make.
Very awesome. Well, maybe this will come in at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, all right. Well, do you have anything else you wanted to say, Deb?
Oh yeah.
Since we're almost at 3 hours now.
Yes, we are. I'll switch over to our announcement real quick.
Okay, go ahead and announce this real quick. Yeah.
One other thing that we have going on with the 10 years on YouTube is that we decided to do 10% off blanks, tooling, and digital downloads this month. So if you've been, wanting to get anything, or if you're wanting to get and try some projects, or maybe do some shop organization or anything like that, now would be a good time to purchase in that while you can, take advantage of the 10% off sale, and that runs all the way through the end of the month, so February 28th. So that's just one of our special kind of little perks that we're doing around our 10 years on YouTube anniversary.
Yeah.
So
lots of fun. So. And Flash Fisher Q6D said, a few months ago, I watched your Santa ornament video. Free-handed a few with a grinder. It was a really fun project. Cool. Glad you enjoyed them. Making them. It is a fun project. So.
Jeff Killian says, here I thought you were going to forge some copper coins. That would be pretty cool.
I could. Maybe make up my own coin. That's really getting into it now, so probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Redbeard said you could use a regular gas forge. I had 20 copper heart pendants from y'all, and I thought I was smart to put them in all at once, a bowl, to soften them a little, and melted the whole lot together.
Oh no. Man, darn.
Yeah, copper melts real fast if you're not watching it.
Yeah,
you gotta babysit it.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, it will melt. It will melt in a gas forge for sure.
Did you do anything with the puck of copper afterwards?
Forge it out into something else. So, yeah. But yeah. So I think it'll be an interesting video. We'll see how it turns out. I'm not a casting channel. I am not casting. I'm not into casting. I'm not into doing casting. That's not really my bag. I just figure it'd be a fun kind of video to see if we can't smelt down. We need to dispose of it in some way. I hate to throw all that copper out. I mean, it's quite weighty. I mean, it weighs like 20 pounds of dust, copper dust. So it would be great not to just chuck that out in the bin and actually smelt it back down into something useful and forge out of it, so that would be my goal. So hopefully I can do that, and that'll be a really neat take on it. So but we will have to see how that turns out, because it might not turn out like well at all. Well, you'll find out in the video, right? So it's gonna be one of those experimental things. So but yeah, I've got a ton of things I want to forge. Next live stream, hopefully, we will have the anvil in for the giveaway for the 10 years on YouTube. So, and then from there, I'm hoping that will be a continuation type thing. So every month, once a month, all the way through now the month of December. So for 10 months, we're giving away 10 anvils. So there'll be 10 anvils we're giving away as a celebration to just continue to give to the blacksmithing community on that. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I got a couple anvil reviews to do, especially the anvils I'm bringing in. I got a couple little anvil review videos I'll probably do. And then you guys are going to see some old videos that have been sitting on my hard drive forever. That are me last year.
Yeah.
They are me last year, but we'll see if you can figure out which ones they are. Which one they are, and then I'll put that out there. So, yep. Thought about selling it as a Blacksmith Mistakes as a paperweight.
There you go. Paperweight. Copper.
Yeah,
Copper
there you go. Yeah, sell it
paperweight.
as a paperweight. Yeah.
Nice. Kid Gavy says, need to make a new smoker box for my smoker. Thinking of using 2 stainless steel pots for the firebox. Guess you could.
Give it a go. Now forge your bell out of copper, said Roger Colwell.
Be a very expensive bell.
Yeah.
Copper
Well, I'd
bell.
have to add some tin in it in order to make it bronze. That way it would be a bronze bell. Bronze
yeah.
ring better than copper. So, yep. Yeah, we'll have to see how that turns out. I think it'll be pretty good. If we have any extras, if we have any extra ingots of it and it forges out well, I might also offer them on the website as well. If anybody else wants to give it a go of our copper castings there. A bar of it, so that way you can forge your own copper. Copper is kind of hard to get hold of, especially in a thick pieces and thick chunks. So, I might look into doing some of that for folks, but it's only if it comes out well enough. If it only comes out well enough, then I might offer some up there. And again, we might use it around the shop and keep using it for other stuff. Keep up the great work, Roy. Remember, we're watching you. Thank you, A4 Appreciate you on that.
Wayne says, cannot believe it's been 10 years. Still remember the little shop you started with. Congratulations. God has truly blessed you.
That he has. He's really, truly blessed us. So we've been blessed by him through you all out there. So thank you guys for sticking around for 10 years. So it's definitely cool. Yep. Really looking forward to seeing where the next 10 years go. I'm sure it'll have its ups and downs and wild twists and turns, and who knows what these two crazy folks going to get into. I imagine we're going to get older.
It would be fun if we wrote down a prediction on where we would be in 10 years and then pulled that out, kind of like a, whatever they call those, a time vault thing.
We should do that in our video.
Oh, yeah.
Our 10-year anniversary video. So that's the other video will be coming up.
Yeah.
There'll be a 10-year special edition anniversary video that'll be coming out. Write that down. We're going to do that as a good send-off on that video.
Yeah.
We're going to write down our predictions for the next 10 years and see how well we come close to it. So that will be definitely interesting.
That will be.
It's kind of crazy to think that it is possible to be a decade doing a thing, or 20 years doing a thing. In 2 years, it'll be 20 years for me doing forging. And it's kind of crazy because I remember when I first got into it, looking up to guys who were at their 15-year mark and going, wow, if I could just forge like them someday, I would be awesome, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, just that reverse perspective, you know, time's flown and, you know, with that intensity over time and you know, to be where they were, and in some cases a bit further along than some of them as well. Had ever got to in the craft. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Jeff Killian says, you will be grandparents. I'm like, wait a minute, 10 years. I mean, I guess it's possible. If Abigail got married.
Thank you, Jeff, for that. Thank you.
If she got married in 7 years, she could technically have a kid, you know, a couple of years after that. So, I mean, it is possible. We could be
16.
Well, yeah, so yeah.
So, she's not that far.
I know. She doesn't feel that old.
Mama Bear ain't ready to let go of the little baby bears yet. So she still thinks they're babies still. You know, babies. But I know one thing is, so next year, so this is our last year of having any adolescent children in our house. Next year we officially have all teenage children. All teenage.
Yep.
Teenagers. House full of teenagers. My boy will be 13. And then, so we'll have a 13-year-old, we'll have a 15-year-old, and we'll have a 17-year-old. Yeah.
Yippers.
Yeah, Kid Foster. More gray hair. That's exactly right. So, yep. Believe it or not, I have actually found gray beard hairs in my beard. I let them go. They usually get plucked out. I don't know. They find their way out of my face. I don't know why, but but I have found a couple little gray hairs here and there showing up in my beard, you know. So it's like, oh, man. I'm getting a little long in the tooth, Roy. Gotta watch that, buddy.
No reason for me to go there, so.
Nope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I mean, her sister, before she had passed, she actually had a gray streak.
She did. She had kind of like a X-Men Storm kind of thing. Yeah, you know, like how she has like a wide gray streak. Like, it was natural. I don't know. Catherine just got that gray streak out of nowhere. So
yep.
She had it for a while too. She was, I mean, she got it when she was like 24. So
yeah.
Yep.
Possum Sausage, thank you for popping in. Hopefully you have fun at your friend's house and you do well at your indoor trade show. And GWI Railroad, more wonderful memories is what we'll have in 10 years.
That's right.
I like that. Yep. Settled Citizen 42. Wow, the kids are getting older. That's so weird. The 90s was only 15 years ago.
It was a little longer ago than that, buddy. Whatever you got to tell yourself.
Yeah, whatever you got to tell yourself. Yeah, whatever you got to tell yourself. The 90s was only 15 years ago.
27 years ago was 99.
Yeah. That's right, Mr. Crawford. Hey now, nothing wrong with the silver highlights. Ask me how I know.
It's all natural, that frosting.
Well, what's bound to happen is all of this external stuff is going to match the internal stuff. I have had an old soul for a very long time, so my body's just finally catching up. So that's probably what's going to happen over the next decade.
Danimal says, try this again since it's not showing up. Y'all think you're cool because you have 641,000 subscribers, but I finally hit 1,000 this week.
Woo!
Yay!
Yay! You got to 1,000, buddy. Good job. And we say that non-ironically.
Yeah, right.
We mean it. Congratulations. That's a big milestone.
That is.
Oh.
Yeah, you cannot anticipate what will spike for your channel, like, as much as you think, like, oh, this ought to do really well. Like, it's the thing that you're not even going to expect will do well. Like,
Yep.
That's how it happened to us.
Yep. Oh. Ken Foster, you are becoming more like Santa year after year. Now the body is catching up. Ho, ho, ho. Thanks.
He does want to have pet reindeer eventually.
I do, actually, yeah.
And, like, have a shop window where they can, like, poke their head into the barn, see what's happening.
Yep. They're so expensive.
They are pretty expensive.
They are a pretty bougie thing to have, so. But I thought it would be cool to actually make a for real sleigh and then have the reindeer pull it and then deliver. So there's some folks that take and bring kids and stuff, like presents, like little treats, like candies in a bag and stuff, that drive around come Christmas, like around Christmas Eve. They'll drive around and give, stop at people in the community that they know have kids, and drop off things. And a guy comes in, he's Santa, and takes pictures with the kids and gives them candy and stuff like that. So it's kind of a fun thing around the county that they do. And so I thought it would be cool that when that mantle gets passed, that I take up that mantle. But instead of arriving in a truck, I arrive in a sleigh.
It's not a red truck, it's a red sleigh.
It's a red sleigh with reindeer that I'm at the helm of.
Epic.
That would be epic. So I'm hoping my retirement's epic. It's going to be epic. That's what it's going to be.
There is, what is it?
Get some goats and pretend, LOL. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. There's literally a Christmas Michigan in the UP, but we drove through there and they are sadly lacking. Like, they have a hotel that kind of has some candy striping, and then they maybe have two other businesses that play a little bit into the theme. And it's like, no, you guys are doing it all wrong. Like, you got to make it mandatory that, like, every house in town has to be, like, mistletoe green or bright red, like hollyberry red. And, like, you guys got to play it up better. You can be the new Frankenmuth, if you did it right.
Yep. Well, maybe if we ever get YouTube millions.
Oh, just buy the town.
We just buy the town of Christmas, Michigan.
You get to be the mayor of Christmas.
And I turn it into a blacksmithing wonderland.
There you go.
Ideas? Thoughts? Crowdfunding? What do you think? Let Roy buy the whole town of Christmas, Michigan? What do you think? Just posing it.
They're like, if Santa wears a kilt.
I will be the most kilt-wearing Santa you ever did see. Frozen little chicken legs out there and all. Oh, man, I love everybody's reindeer alternatives.
Yeah.
Malamutes with foam antlers. Ken Foster, you get reindeer, you're going to need 9. Horses, 1 or 2.
Yeah, right.
I dislike horses, so I'll take the reindeer. The 9 reindeer. Danimal Creations asked, so have I missed any big announcements or anything this evening?
You're here for the most important part. Roy telling all his dreams of being Santa.
Yeah, exactly. And buying Christmas, Michigan. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, Rudolph was marketing, though. Yeah, well, hey, you got to market. You got to market what you got to market. So, I did think it would be cool to take and get a elk. So get an elk, right? So I could ride a full-grown elk and then just have some satchels on the back that I hand the Christmas gifts out. So I just have elk.
People
that I
have
actually
done it.
Ride like
look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
There's a couple of like historical photos where people rode elk, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Come on.
Yep.
So basically what I'm working on. All right, I gotta say this because now we're going into crazy town, right? This is the woo-woo of Roy's brain here. Okay, this is where I say I do things 100%, all the way or nothing. I feel like I am destined to be that legend of the North somewhere. It just so fits me. Living here fits me, and if I had to live anywhere else, it'd be even further into the Arctic tundra somewhere. It's just, it's me. It's so me. I am not a southerner. I am not a beach goer. I am not, I hate summer. I hate summer. It's not my thing. I love winter. I'm crazy like that. And could you just imagine the stories people would tell of the blacksmith that made toys for children who rode an elk? So good.
And a red fur lined jacket.
In a red fur lined jacket. Are you kidding me? With the curly mustache and the full beard and the Yasurka hat. Oh, so good. The imagery is so strong. It's so strong. That is the most cool thing ever. It really would be. The legends would be told. The legends would be made. It's like living an epic life right there. You know, people be like, whoa.
Yep.
This guy went to a whole nother level.
It'd be like real life Whoville. Up with the Grinch.
Yeah. And plus, I already got an elf. His name's Thomas Goodymoot. Hello. And he's a farrier, so he can do all the horse trimming things. I don't got to do any of that.
It's like it's mandatory part of your job description.
It's mandatory part of Thomas's job. So I just don't, I don't have to do that. I just got to get suited up. I don't have to worry about my physique anymore. You know?
You got to work the Santa bod.
I can work that Santa bod. Booyah. I can get my Kringle on.
Bring the candy cane coffee. And the sugar cookies, as long as they're dairy free.
Chuck, it is International Pipe Smoking Day, by the way, so you better get started. People will start thinking I'm on that wacky tobacco that's legal up here.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know if any of you else can picture that and get that, but I don't know. That thing's like a greeting card. That is a Christmas card like
here you go.
Never did
We've got
believe,
the perfect ornament. Here's the little houses in the UP, with snow covered. And there's Roy one
There's
day.
me scaling their house.
Like, I got a big bag of gifts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yipper.
A
Yooper.
Yooper Roy brings
Yooper
Christmas
Roy
joy.
brings Christmas
I like that.
joy.
That's so fun.
That was a good one.
It is.
Ken Foster coined it. You all heard it here first. Ken
Yooper
Foster
Roy.
was number one. As he said.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah,
That's
Yooper
too
Roy
fun.
brings Christmas joy. There you go.
Yeah, we just gotta move to the UP first.
Yeah, Chuck says, yes, I can't get that image out of my head. ... Thanks.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, just come out. I blow in on a blizzard.
Yep.
Ride in my elk.
Ice encrusted beard.
Ice encrusted
Rosy
beard.
cheeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Mug of coffee.
Elk
to
or a
keep you
caribou.
warm. Yeah.
One or the other.
Caribous are much smaller.
Yeah, they're much,
like
much
reindeer.
smaller. So it'd be a little odd. It'd look like a fat guy on a small goat if I ran a caribou.
Yes.
I am an awful big, imposing Santa, so
Yep.
I'm 6 foot tall, so
Yep.
would look a little weird on a caribou, but on an elk, a big old 1,500-pound bull elk.
Yeah. You could do moose
Oh, yeah.
too. Moose are really big. Moose could be an option.
Yeah, could do a moose.
Could do moose.
Yeah. Elk are so much cooler looking.
They are.
Elk
they
are
have
majestic.
More of the winter
Elk
vibe.
are majestic. Yeah, they're a majestic creature. I like the elk. Yeah, moose are just got attitude. I'd end up having moose meat. Is what I'd have.
Moose mincemeat pie.
Yeah, I'd end up having moose for dinner at some
Minced
point.
moose.
Yeah.
Which kid will write it?
Yeah, who knows? Probably my daughter. Oh, yeah. That, the automatons, miniature train around my property, hopefully someday. That would be cool.
GWI?
GWI.
We'd have to pick your brain.
Oh. Hey, Valhalla Ironworks. Good to see you. Oh. Yeah,
Just dreaming of Christmas.
Yeah, we're talking about Roy's crazy Christmas ideas.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Christmas moose. There you
Christmas moose.
go. I actually thought it would be really cool at one time. And when I first bought this place, I was thinking of the ways I could set the shop up. And if it was all going to be solely blacksmithing, I'm glad you have beard envy there, Valhalla Ironworks. Oh, appreciate the shout out on the beard. I actually had thought that it would have been real cool to set up my whole shop on a line shaft system and actually have a steam engine outside and power it with a coal-powered steam engine, you know, to take and actually stoke up stuff and run the power hammers and drills and stuff like that in the shop. But after kind of just looking at it and stuff, it would have been real difficult to set my shop up with a proper line shaft setup. Just because the way it was, I would had to adapt the structure too much to actually make it conducive to be able to do that. So I ended up not going down that route.
I don't know if you remember, there had been a building.
Really cool.
There was a building that came up for sale, and it had a line shaft already installed. And
Yeah,
I think it used to be I forget what kind of building it was used for, but yeah, I mean that was kind of cool seeing that building for sale. We can relate to crazy.
Yeah, we can relate to crazy. Awesome. Glad you can relate to crazy. So, yep. No. Yeah, Valhalla Ironworks came in at such a weird and interesting time talking about Christmas mooses. And, yeah.
That's right.
You, Roy, brings Christmas joy. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just think life's too short not to take and live it, as most epically as you can. You know, I mean, life is short. We only get one spin on this rock, to make stories and, invest in people. And so I'm going to keep doing that no matter how much we do, whether it's on YouTube, doing some crazy stuff. One thing I didn't get around this year too, and it would have been awesome to do, just so swamped. No, this year with the freezing cold. Oh. I wanted to do another ice anvil, but I wanted to do it in an entire shop made of ice. So I actually wanted to do a forge with ice, a whole shop. I have a whole idea how I'm going to do it in my mind so it'll look like an ice cave. And then I forge in the ice cave all winter long on an actual ice anvil and actually forge all winter long in an ice shop. So why? 'Cause I can. Why? Because who else do you know on YouTube who's doing that or on the internet, period, anywhere? It's just sick. It's just sick. The amount of lights you can add in it, having those, have the neon lights and stuff inside it to light up the shot.
Yep.
Everything's glowing blue like Mr. Freeze. And and Batman and Robin or Batman Forever, I forget which one it was. Yeah. Oh wait, what's Ken Foster saying? He's got a little rhyme going here.
You wouldn't guess from the slush on his boot, his hands black from soot, his face ruddy red, bringing joy with handmade gifts to children before they go to bed.
Boy, you're a poet, Ken. You're a poet, buddy. Poet didn't know it.
Needs to look like the interior of an igloo. Yeah, that'd be the thought.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that would be cool. Yeah. So it just takes staging, right? It just takes staging, and it takes a monicum amount of resources to try to allocate to do that. But it's so worth it, I think. I think it'd just be so worth it if I could pull it off. It would be just so kick butt, so cool. So I even thought, Alpina for the longest when we moved up here, they haven't done it for the last 2 years, and it saddened me on it. Alpina did an ice tree. And so it was a thing where it was basically just a pole, and they tied some branches to it, and then it spritzed water. And then the freezing cold would just freeze all that water, and it made an ice tree. You know, it's just a big column, really kind of cool area of like an icy thing. So I thought about just doing one of those in our yard and just doing it better and bigger. Just doing a much bigger frame and just make like a 40-foot tall ice tree out in our front yard and making it lit up the path and like light up the ice tree. So this way, families could come in and get their pictures by it or whatever, that kind of thing. So just crazy thoughts like that. I love all things Christmas and joy and those sort of things. So yeah, I'm going to be really sad. I'm sad that it was raining and all the snow's melting and the flooding and all that stuff. That makes me sad. Yep. Because I like Christmas and I like the joy that comes with it.
Danimal says, okay, y'all, I gotta get going and start cooking dinner for my son and I. I've had my work boots on since 6 a.m. and it's still not out of them.
Woo, Danimals. Well, get them puppies off and enjoy your dinner.
Put on your house slippers.
Yeah.
At least.
Take care, Danimals. Oh. Yeah, the blue light special. I have probably said too much crazy publicly at this point.
Yeah.
In the juncture. Haven't I?
Maybe.
10 years. I earned the right. I can be a little crazy. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
You all can know that I've went off my rocker. It's fine. It's fine. It was bound to happen at some point. You know?
They know it's 50-50.
Yeah. The real Roy had to get out sooner or later, right?
That's right. Somebody said,
the real nut.
Yeah, Joe Even X, make a blacksmith island. Islands do pop up for sale around here, actually, more frequently than you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, not too long ago, there's one about 30 minutes away from here.
Yeah, we window shopped.
Yeah, there was an island. It was, partly renovated, but, I don't know, the innkeeper's house was, it was a 12-bedroom house, but everything was stripped down to studs, and it was gonna need a major
remodel.
work.
It was a historic
but
remodel.
It would be really cool as a blacksmith island.
Yeah, it had a lighthouse on it. It had a keeper's house, and then it had the additional house that was off of it.
I think it was 50 acres or something.
Yeah, it was
like
a
that.
50-acre island.
Yep.
And it's right there. It's right off the coast of Alpena, so right on Lake. It's in Lake Huron, and Jessica and I was like, oh man,
it is the coolest. Is there any way we could make that happen?
Could we possibly even make that happen? I mean, we don't have the money to be able to do that. But we're like, what ways could we do it? I was like, well, maybe what we would do is crowdfund it by selling forging vacation packages to the island, and that would fund buying the island, and make the thing. But it was like we would have to sell so many of those, or they would have to be so expensive.
It would be so
and then at the end of the day, so many people would be like, we ain't giving you money to buy an island. Where's my island? Right? So you're like, oh, no, it's just not possible. So that's fine.
Another one did pop up that was in the smaller lake in Oscoda. And that was a 10-acre island. With just a house.
Island.
It was a house on it and a 10-acre island.
Bleh.
Yeah, that one's...
It's got to be in the big lakes.
Yeah.
Oh. GWIRO, we love living on an island.
How big is your island?
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking his has a whole town on it. I haven't
Does
looked
it?
it up.
Yeah.
I think so.
Is it the town of GWI Railroad?
No, I'm trying to... Friday Harbor, right? I think
Friday
that's the
Harbor?
name of where he lives. Friday Harbor, yeah.
We'll just have to come visit.
Yeah. Island life.
There'll be like some weird guy riding an elk. And his missus showed up on our island today. You're like, I know who that is.
Going from a she shed to an island, major move up.
Yeah, that's right. So
Jeff Gillian says make them a raffle, one winner for every 1,000 tickets sold.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Federal Trade and Gaming Commission wouldn't have any problems with me doing that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, we for our 10-year wedding anniversary, we went to Idaho, Maine, and we stayed at a lighthouse there on a small island. It was pretty small. I think it was like
Little Deer
it's like
Isle.
it's like a 6-mile island, 6 by
long
like
island,
an
yeah.
hour. 6 by like 1 mile or 2 mile deep, and it's kind of like this eccentric old lighthouse keeper that was a college professor who had bought this lighthouse to preserve it, and then his summer he came there to work as the innkeeper. So I mean, that was a really cool experience. Like, I guess that's kind of like what gave us that vision of like, oh, that would be pretty cool to be
it's
like that.
People can do that, and that's actually a thing.
Yeah,
it's like weird. Yeah. Yeah, there was a whole nother island that came up in the UP for sale. It was like right in the opening of St. Mary's, where it lets out into the Huron, into Lake Huron. And that place was, I mean, it was gorgeous, top notch, top to bottom. I mean, historical lighthouse. I mean, someone came in and totally redid the whole thing. Like, it would have been the ultimate. And it's so remote. Like, it's so remote. You're only getting there by boat or float plane. Like, you are not getting there any other way, and like that's right up Jessica and I's alley. We love stuff. We love stuff like that, we love stuff like that. And we're always thinking of how we can like bring others along for the ride for stuff like that, and like make things cool. So, but yeah.
It's a bit of a stretch. It was a daydreaming thing.
It's a fun daydream. It's a window shop thing, like we're not moving to any island anytime soon.
Yeah, I think
we ain't got island money.
No. I think it was like, I forget. I think it was like $4 million or something, the one up in Alpena.
Yeah, so, not happening.
It's like the taxes alone on that thing would have been like $50,000 a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fun to dream like what I would do if I really had actual YouTube millions. Yeah.
Well, if every video was like the Mokame video, maybe we would get there.
Yeah, if they were a regular video.
Yeah, like
all
CPMs, 2,200 videos.
Yeah. Then we would have no problem buying an island.
Yeah.
But nope. That's like Mr. Beast level money.
I was just
we don't
that,
have that kind of thing going
no,
on. So.
No.
Yeah, Roger Caldwell, you take care. Said, hate to go, but I got to run. Great stream, y'all. Stay safe. God bless y'all. Yep. You have a great week, and God bless you as well.
Get 100 more Thomases. It'd be like an army of Thomases.
Yeah, you better get 100 more Thomases. Yeah. Ones that are okay with not getting paid. Anything.
Clones. Or just the
and there's
automatons.
one Thomas to rule them all.
Getting some Hobbit vibes there.
Yeah.
One Thomas to rule them all.
Yeah. Uh-oh, there's about to be some Lord of the Rings lore comments coming in here. There'll be the one Thomas to rule them all. Yeah, he's the ultimate Thomas. So.
He's totally missing out. He like dropped in for like 5 minutes at the beginning. We're having a whole side convo about him.
I'm going to rat Thomas out on the stream just because he's not here. And even if he is, maybe he's listening in the background. And he's going to have to like start thumbing it up real quick to reprieve himself. But yeah, I talked to him like, oh, so I'll see you in the stream later. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, you know what? I'm like, you tired of seeing my face all week or something? You don't want to be in the stream? He's like, all you're going to be doing is sitting there talking. I wanted to see forging. I want to see somebody doing something. I'm like, you do know most live streams are just guys talking, right? Like, they get very little actual forge work done when they're doing a live stream. He's like, yeah, well, at least they're getting something done. And I was like, all right, Thomas, that's fine. It's like, you don't have to show up. So I must have guilt tripped him enough that he showed up earlier. So. Let's see here. What do they do that makes so much noise? What causes all the black smoke? It's just strange and a noise. but don't they also make toys? Now I got to work and finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
Kid
do.
Foster, you gotta work on that. You
You're
gotta finish that poem. It's good.
I got a good.
Jessica's writing
I
them
wrote down the first
she's,
half.
She's
or
writing
second
down
half.
the first half.
I gotta go.
You gotta get
right
the
down
first half of that
one.
too.
Yeah.
Before we go. There you go. Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The first half was, you wouldn't guess from the slush on his boot, his hands black from soot, his face ruddy red, bringing joy with handmade gifts to children before they go to bed. We'll let Jessica write that down. That's a good one. You're getting a good one going.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Almost got it?
Almost. I can only write so fast.
Wow. She can type like 15,000 times faster than what she can write.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Good?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All at the bottom. There we go. There you go. He's giving you more.
Is there more? Okay.
You're just going to have to write it up, Ken, in an
Yeah.
email and send it to Jess. That way she can write it all down. It's a haiku, right?
No, haiku has a very specific number of syllables, and it's only like 3 lines long.
Okay.
So it's
it's
a very
poem
short,
now.
condensed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good poem. It's getting started. A Forge Works, take care. God bless you. Stay safe out there. Oh man, such fun.
It is.
It's fun to dream a little, do
is.
little things here and there. So, anyways, some wild and zany stuff. That's what you can expect from Christ Center Ironworks coming
That's
up
right, as always.
in this new year. So, hopefully this will all pan out the way we think it will. Who knows what God has in store for us, but we're going to see what we can come up with. No. And once you get that done,
Yeah.
I think we ought to call it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
We should. Yeah.
So we ought to call it for the evening. I'm having a lot of fun, but we'll end up stretching this into a 4-hour, long live stream.
Yeah. And lose another battery probably.
Yeah, and lose another battery because we're getting close. So, anyway, well, thank you all so much. I hope you all have really enjoyed the live stream this evening. I know it's just a sitting and hanging out stream and us talking about a whole bunch of nonsense and whatever. But thank you all for joining us anyhow and nonetheless. So just to do a real quick recap of what's coming up. At March's live stream, we'll be giving away an ANVIL to celebrate our 10-year anniversary of being here online. We're giving away 10 ANVILs this year for the 10 years that we've been on YouTube. So we'll be doing that. Also, in addition to that, Jess, if you want to bring up the other announcements page thing there. In addition to that, we're running a 10-year on YouTube sale at our website of getting 10% off blanks, tooling and digital downloads, and that's over at our blacksmithingblanks.com website through February 28th, right? Is what we're running in on.
Last day of the month. Yep.
Yep. So that'll be up to the last day of the month. So if you still want to get in on that, that's good. You could do so. That is just a way of giving back and saying thanks, and making things a bit cheaper for anybody there. So, yeah. Any other announcements there that I am forgetting about? So.
No, that was really.
Okay.
Oh, and then the book. If you're interested in checking out Abigail's book, the whole first chapter is now posted on her website for free, which is floraandfoxdesigns.com.
Yep. If you want to read the first chapter of it for free.
I put that down in the description. And then also her book is available on Amazon and all kinds of countries, like basically everywhere Amazon does business. And then also, if you're in the U.S., she does have some signed copies that if you order through her Etsy store instead, she'll send a signed copy and then also a magnet and a sticker. So
Yeah. Yep. So anyways, yeah. So that's some stuff to look out for, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to the great things that are coming. Hopefully, this spring and summer. Summer. We'll make it through summer. We'll survive summer. We'll be back into the fall. Another winter is on its way. Let's just say that.
Look for the Christmas.
Yes, look for the Christmas. It's only whatever so many days till Christmas now.
Let's see, 10 months and 5 days.
Okay, I can do that. 40 weeks.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. So roughly 40 weeks till Christmas.
Yep, there you go.
40 weeks till Christmas again. And I'll look forward to that every moment of it. So anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for putting up with this crazy, zany person here on the other side of the screen for a decade. And again, next month we'll do the ANVIL giveaway, good Lord willing. So, and it will be a fun thing. So stick with us. More great content to come. So God bless each and every last one of you. Hope you have a great, great weekend and an awesome upcoming week. Bye now.